Subscribe to Dostcast.
Yo, what is up, my friends? Welcome to another episode of Dostcast. Kya haal hai? My name is Vinamre Kasanaa. Welcome to another episode of Dostcast. We release podcasts every Tuesday and Friday. If you're new here, consider subscribing, liking us on Spotify, doing all the cool things so we take this podcast to the moon. Having said that, आज की जो गेस्ट है उनका नाम है मेजर गौरव आर्या. वन लाइक वन सल्यूट फॉर इंडियन आर्मी. आई एम जस्ट किडिंग माय फ्रेंड्स. इट्स गौरव आर्या टीवी. जी हाँ, मशहूर पैरोडियर एंड नाउ डूइंग अ वेब सीरीज अपेरेंटली. हश हश, ये सारी बातें तुम्हें मिलेंगी इस पॉडकास्ट के अंदर, अलॉन्ग विद गौरव addressing a bunch of things about what he likes in content, what his personality is like on the outside, the infamous Vivek Bindra copyright strike controversy, and many other bonanza things that I think you will enjoy. मेरे को तो लगा he's very smart, super cool. I had no idea he's the age he is. बाकी बढ़िया सीन है as usual. The podcast with Gaurav Arya TV begins in 3, 2, 1. Cool. ठीक है, तो I've had virtually zero time to think कि यार leisure और recreation में क्या कर सकते हैं. वो ऑप्शन आया नहीं. ऐसे ऑप्शन आया नहीं कि मैं देखूं भाई कि चलो अप्पू घर चले जाते हैं या कहीं और चले जाते हैं. Because like when I first started podcasting, I had no idea कि this is a full-time job. It's not like कि Zoom पे भाई महीने में एक बार निकाल दिया, भाई हम भी podcast करते हैं, हमें भी देख लो. No. मतलब इसको if you really want to strike out and make a difference, you just... And I love these conversations. मैं ये कर सकता हूँ फ्री टाइम में भी, यही करता हूँ. ऐसी जो भी कोई आता है, मिलने भी आता है, इसी टेबल पे बैठता है, उधर बैठ के बस माइक ऑन नहीं होता है, बात ही कर रहा होता है. तो
But do you think like कि कभी-कभी ऐसा होता है ना, like when I'm making vlogs,
हाँ,
it's a little different than when I'm having actual conversations with my friends.
yeah,
And sometimes it's like कि we're talking, and a funny moment comes, and I was not having the camera on.
so you're like recreate the funny moment again.
Yeah. So when I'm really conscious about it, it has a little bit of fakeness. Like even though the second time we recreate the moment, it'll have something new of itself, right? Maybe the joke will get extended or whatever.
Right.
But you still become a little conscious of what you're doing right here.
But that's okay, because मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि vlogging is a lot like you have one joke, one funny thing that comes from your unconscious, your psyche. Then the next take is you workshopping it, you making it better. अगर for example
Presentable basically.
हाँ, presentable. And multiple takes के अंदर तो उसके अंदर जो fluff होता है वो कट जाता है. With podcasting you can say a lot of stupid things and generally not mean them. ठीक है, बाद में बोलो अरे मैंने क्या बोल दिया भाई यार, मतलब वो फैक्ट चेक्ड ही नहीं था. मतलब मैंने लास्ट पॉडकास्ट में बोल दिया कि ब्रह्मा टेम्पल के अंदर हर तरफ कोबराज रहते हैं. बिकॉज आई हर्ड समथिंग इन पुष्कर. चेक द इंटरनेट, माई टीम हैड पुट अप अ क्लिप कि ये डालेंगे. मैंने कहा यार है ही नहीं ऐसा. हम बेवकूफ़ खामखा हमारे को लोग बोलेंगे, आ जाएंगे सारे कि भाई आप गलत कह रहे थे, आपको पता नहीं है. सो दैट हैपेंस अ लॉट. बट यू कांट
But then you have to constantly podcast, no? Like if you get into controversy कि विनम्र ने ऐसा बोल दिया.
हाँ, तो पॉडकास्ट करते रहना, क्योंकि यही हमारा PR है, यही हमारी स्टेटमेंट है, यही हमारा फोन कैमरा वीडियो है कि भाई वो ऐसा हो गया, वैसा हो गया, whatever.
No, that's a great thing. I'm also thinking of starting a podcast, man. Like, to actually, explain shit that you say on the internet.
You can, I'm sure, जो the collaborators you bring in your videos, the Salman Khan impersonator या और दो तीन लोग भी आते हैं. I'm sure they're interesting people, right? तो वो not only do they get a platform as your friends, you also are able to meet your people, your fans, subscribers in long form. और लोगों को मजे आते हैं कि I want to see like who you are in like an hour, है ना? You did like one live stream recently, I think जिसमें you were announcing Pepper Coding. Is that the company you were?
Pep coding.
Pep Coding, yeah. But then you privated it, so it was nice. मैंने पहले देखी थी, मैंने कहा I'll rewatch it again for research purposes, but वो फिर private हो गई. तो मैंने कहा ठीक है भाई, गौरव सिर्फ vlogs वगैरह ही डालता है, maybe he doesn't.
Right now, that is the only outlet that I've kept for my fans.
What, the streams?
Yeah, no, not the streams, the vlogs and the videos. Streams are there, but I private them because I'm like, a lot of times I'm just thinking that, because you are what you put out on the internet.
Oh yeah.
That is really important to understand, and things can go off really quick.
I'm sure. मतलब like I think I've made so many of these. At this point I've said so many stupid things कि जो वो एक filter होता है ना, कि जो तुम 2 साल के बाद किसी को जानते हो कि भाई ये ऐसा बंदा है, that's already there. So the rejection rate for I will not fuck with this person is quite high, as is the acceptance rate. Because लाइक मैं खुद जाके पॉडकास्ट नहीं सुनता क्योंकि अब कितने मतलब हज़ारों घंटे हज़ारों नहीं मतलब 600-700 घंटे तो हो गए होंगे एटलीस्ट, राइट? एंड ये भी ज़्यादा कह रहा हूँ मैं, मोर लाइक 150-200 घंटे। और क्या क्या बातें बोली होंगी, बेवकूफ़ी करी, क्रिंज जैसे होता है ना, लाइक यू कैन, जैसे मैं किसी एक उसमें हंस रहा हूँ तो ऐसी घटिया आवाज़ आ रही है, लाइक आई कांट डू एनीथिंग, सो आई एम लाइक अब भाई डल गया है, कोई बात नहीं। बट आई सी दैट देयर इज अ होल सेट ऑफ क्रिएटर्स लाइक वेरी स्पेसिफिक, यार हमारी वीडियो ऐसी होनी चाहिए, गाना ऐसा होना चाहिए, इसके अंदर यू नो वाइब ऐसी होनी चाहिए, यू टेक मल्टीपल कट्स एंड यू आर मेंशनिंग, हम पहले बैठ के बात कर रहे थे दैट यू हैव अ होल टीम, you know, you have a DOP, you're like executive producer, all of that. But you didn't go to film school, तो ये intuitively कैसे आया कि ये exec producer रख लेता हूँ, ये रख लेता हूँ, एक team बना लेता हूँ?
Basically the thing was कि when I started making videos, I was just doing it for fun. ठीक है कि चलो बना के देखते हैं
क्या होता है. And this happened in the lockdown before you were a teacher on YouTube.
Should I start from the beginning or like what should I do?
मतलब what I'm basically saying is कि जो Gaurav Arya TV as we know. By the way, I was going to do this whole joke where like salute to Indian Army, Major Gaurav Arya, but I totally forgot to tell this किसी और से करा था ना, because मैं Gaurav Arya सर्च करता हूँ, अगर Gaurav Arya TV ना करूँ ना तो Major Gaurav Arya की वीडियोस ही। Have you guys talked? नहीं।
I think I'll do a parody. It'll suit really well.
And I think he'll also like it because you are also Gaurav Arya, weirdly enough.
I don't know.
Are you?
Let's see. Usually people don't like my parodies, so I don't know.
ये देखिए, ये disenfranchised YouTuber यहाँ आए हैं, जैसे वो नहीं होता like you know, so Gaurav, how does it feel like to be cancelled? देखिए अब cancel हो गए हैं तो हम यहाँ बैठे हैं. Anyhow, let's go back to your story. So lockdown में your channel Gaurav Arya TV really popped up. हाँ.
Basically what happened was that the last channel in which I was teaching, I was bored with that. It had a good amount of subscribers. Everyone was like, Gaurav, इस पे videos बना और बना.
What were you teaching?
Bored. I was teaching physics, chemistry and maths के formulas, physics.
10th 11th के लिए?
11th 12th के लिए.
11th 12th के लिए.
Basically जैसे chemistry की reaction है,
हाँ,
उसे याद करना है.
हाँ.
तो I will make a story around it.
Mnemonics वगैरह.
Yeah, mnemonics. I'll play a skit. I'll actually do a skit.
Crazy.
In which the dialogues will be like presenting the reaction.
कैसे कोई example?
और याद नहीं है. Like एक था, I cannot tell you the reaction क्योंकि मुझे भी याद नहीं है. I had a mnemonic. Benzene nutkel has been for. Benzene गिर गया on the floor. Chloride ले गया 3 fluorine. आग लगी निकला. Something like that.
Yeah.
And इससे you get a chemical reaction basically.
Right.
तो I had these kind of videos. बकचोदी कर रहा था उसमें मैं एकदम like ऐसा नहीं था कि मैं पढ़ा रहा था उसमें specifically कि reaction ऐसे यहाँ होता है. But at the end it was something which was valuable to students, right? So even I have a memory problem. I cannot recall a lot of things. I can remember a lot of stuff.
Yeah, mnemonics are helpful.
हाँ, they're really helpful. So
any teacher in school who breaks out of character and says कि मैं तुम्हें ये अजीब सी poem बनाऊंगा at the sake of feeling, क्योंकि thank God बच्चे उस जमाने में they're not like YouTube comments, तो ये नहीं बोलते teacher cringe है, they just get the ज्ञान कि हाँ ले लेते हैं. हाँ.
So when I get bored with that thing, and in college I was trying to do 2 startups basically,
right,
which failed as well.
So you had a startup before?
Yeah. We'll talk about that later. But when that failed, and I was at the point of, I guess, like 3rd year in my college, and I was like, what to do now? Like I always had in my mind ki if anything fails, YouTube is the thing that I'm going to get back to.
Because you were a YouTube consumer. You've been
because I knew I can make this work. Whatever it is, I can make YouTube work. I have been here for a long time. I know what works and what does not, what the audience wants to see and all. So I started off making, but at that point in time, I didn't thought that I was funny. Or I could be funny, or people will find me funny. That's the thing. I had performed a lot of times on stage, but I've never performed a comedy skit per se. Okay, I've not been funny. I've been charismatic, but not funny.
You could win a debate, but not make people laugh.
Yes, that's the thing. I could make people laugh in a debate, but I never went on stage just to make people laugh.
The schools also didn't have a platform for that fully.
Yeah, definitely. Like schools don't have stand-up comedy, inter-house debate comedy.
वो होता ही नहीं है.
They should have it, na? It'll be really fun.
Is technology a friend or foe? Comment.
हाँ, बीच में parody आ जाएगी किसी टीचर की. हाँ, तो I was like कि चलो कुछ बना के देखते हैं. Then I got into infotainment. Basically presenting an idea entertaining manner, like probably Casey Neistat did. I consumed a lot of Casey Neistat. So I tried that. Videos were great. It was not fun in the process. And I knew that if I don't like the process, I'll not be able to sustain it for long. थोड़े time बाद I will have to switch. And I didn't wanted to switch careers because मेरी मम्मी यही बोलती थी कि गौरव तू एक महीने एक चीज़ करता है, फिर अगले महीने तो कुछ और करता है, फिर अगले महीने तो कुछ और करता है. And I really wanted to do something अच्छे से, like बैठ के. तो
So
I am also a videographer, man. मैं भी देख रहा हूँ.
हाँ ठीक है, मुझे नहीं पता ना. I don't know because I know you act. I don't know if you're a videographer. वो मेरे को मतलब that's not something that comes across in the videos, so I wouldn't know.
Okay. I vlog.
नहीं, that's different, no? Like a videographer, when I see a videographer इसकी जो कैमरा पकड़ के चीज़ें करता है, like oh भाई ताकि फ्रेम के बीच में आओ, all that jazz. Anyhow. So your mom was like, you're a generalist, कुछ कर.
हाँ, तो I thought चलो करते हैं. So लॉकडाउन हुआ and I thought चलो कुछ बना के देखते हैं. लॉकडाउन से पहले I made 1 or 2 videos with my college friends, actually friends उनके साथ. I made 1 or 2 vlogs. मेरे को मज़ा आया. Then I made a Holi video. It's a video on Holi. इसमें I'm sleeping.
No, I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah.
हाँ. तो what I loved about that video was the process. Like the whole day, all I was doing was laughing with my friends, right? Recording shit and not doing any work at all. Right. And I knew how to make that thing work as well. Right. When I recorded the video, I had no storyline in my head. So I just had the shots that I'm going to record and I was like, I'll make it work.
तो फिर जो वो सोने वाला segment है वो कैसे? Because that's the consistent element in there.
हाँ,
Whatever happens.
That was the only consistent thing. Like there was no story other than that. But घर आके when I went on, I recorded the voiceover, I added the shit and it worked. That's how it was. So it's like, I think what I would say is that direction is like a habit for me, I would say. Like I've watched so much shit and I have that sense for that I can make it work. That's what it is.
Great music choice, by the way. It sounded like When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
जो वो पीछे.
Yeah. The music is from, I think, Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street के.
Really
अच्छा हाँ.
Nice.
Yeah. मतलब I don't see it enough. मतलब I think most YouTubers resort to lo-fi beats in the back, which is I think an easy cop
Easy
out.
to work.
Or like what is the other vlog music? Just ऐसे कुछ चलता है. So it was nice to see कि अच्छा appreciate blues because it added it made a lot of the slow motion parts in the video very palatable to watch.
Yeah.
Because with a lo-fi beat, you just have to be more sharp, more cutting. तो वो बढ़िया scene लगा मेरे को. But these are again just your friends, people you just discovered through the internet or you were living around. कि यार,
Yeah, they were college friends basically.
अच्छा.
And they were supportive enough to work with me. But I knew that they will not be able to sustain. मतलब दोस्त है, मैं उससे I can ask for a favor like कि भाई आ जाना एक वीडियो में, आ जाना 2 वीडियो में. But if they don't see a future with me, they won't come every time.
Yeah.
कुछ बहाना आ जाएगा. But whatever. Like if I was at their place, I would have done the same thing. क्योंकि I have to like look after myself now.
Right.
तो I knew कि चलो I can make this thing work. This is fun to do. तो बनाते हैं और वीडियोस. बट फिर भैंचोद लॉकडाउन हो गया एंड घर में फंसे हुए हैं. क्या करें तो चलो घर से बनाना स्टार्ट करते हैं. घर पे 1 वीडियो बनाई, 2 वीडियो बनाई. आई वॉज गेटिंग गुड रिस्पॉन्स. I had some knowledge about politics as well. I was kind of up with everything that was going on. So I started political satire as well.
So that is a Dhruv Rathi video.
हाँ नहीं, उससे भी पहले I made Rasaviya sarcasm. How to make a bhakt.
Interesting.
How to make a librandu. And these videos really popped. They started popping out first, right? I made a Dr. 10th video, which is basically a Sensodyne ad parody. कि how to like nationalism की कमी क्या है. तो like जैसे कोई डॉक्टर आके बोलते हैं ना आपके दांतों में कमी है, like nationalism क्या प्रॉब्लम है. तो I was just parodying that in that.
Got it.
तो political satire में आया. उसके बाद the only problem in politics is that कि people come and they go. They don't stay. They're there for the clout and all.
It also, like you can imagine, anyone who's constantly watching political videos is just enraged. घर बैठे, because I know I've been there. Like you start with For example, like you start with like Jordan Peterson lecture, then you go like Jordan Peterson destroys people, you know, और तुम वो comparison देखने शुरू करते हो ना, and it slowly pops into your algorithm and you become that. कि हाँ सही तो कह रहा है, सही तो कह रहा है. So I see that. So then you switched over to just parodying YouTubers.
Then at that point I was like कि, and even at that point I was like कि दोनों साइड की मारते हैं ना, like right में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है तो लेफ्ट में भी प्रॉब्लम है ना.
भाई हम न्यूट्रल है.
हाँ. And even though at the end of the day when I go to vote, I'm not neutral ना, मैं किसी साइड को तो वोट दूंगा, but that does not matter I think in comedy. For me, like from a writer's perspective, I think मैं तो सबकी मारूंगा. Right. Like there are some things which are funny about Arvind Kejriwal, and there are some things which are funny about Modi ji as well.
Yeah.
Like, so we'll talk about everything na.
Yeah.
Like if Kunal Kamra is the one who's saying the right thing, let's say in this context he is. But there will still be something wrong about them as well na. So why are we not talking about that?
Have you listened to the phone call between Kunal Kamra and Hindustani Bhai?
Yeah, I listened to it.
I always make sure. I was never really a YouTube native until the last 2 years when I'm ढंग से consume कर रहा था. I realized कि क्या मस्त माल and can really make you go insane. You know, because तुम सोचते हो कि क्या मूवी की सब्सक्रिप्शन लेनी है, क्या नेटफ्लिक्स पे देखना है, सीधा जाके यूट्यूब पे ही देखते हैं, right? But it just shows कि sometimes in extended conversation you will see कि जो dopamine artists हैं हिंदुस्तानी भाव की तरह जो you know smack shock, फिर shock, they fall flat in the face of logic sometimes. And you have someone like Kunal Kamra recording the conversation. Oof. So you know,
Anyways,
just
talking about call recordings. Have you listened to Kapil Sharma's call recording?
oh my God, Vicky Lalwani.
Bhai साहब, that is just a one favorite thing between our team. जब भी हम बोर होते हैं सब
We constantly listen to it here. हाँ.
मज़ा आ जाता है. विक्की जी, आप ये जो मेरे बारे में लिखते हो, इसके आपको पैसे मिलते हैं? नहीं, पैसे चाहिए तो मेरे पास आना.
विक्की ललवानी. English नहीं आती, यहाँ तेरी माच होती है. Just brutal. He's brutal.
From विक्की जी to मेरे पास आना. That is just.
But have you listened to the extended call?
Yes.
The one where the lawyer also speaks to Vicky Lalwani.
बहुत प्यारा है.
For initially मेरे को लगता था कि छोटी सी कॉल है. And वो फोन कर, क्योंकि वो सीधा लॉयर बोलता है we'll send you a legal notice. I did not listen to the aftermath where whoever this person is who represents Kapil is trying to manage this जो ये कर रहा है entertainment reporter के लिए. You are a zero actor. आप flop हो. Have you watched the trailer for Kapil Sharma's new special?
Yeah, it was really fun, I think.
Yeah. It's interesting because मैं देख रहा था there's an elite kind of audience already बैठी हुई. It's not like an average crowd. I'm very surprised. उसके laughs थोड़े अलग तरीके से आए थे. मैं उसके laughs notice कर रहा था ना. The laugh, like his jokes, Kapil is phenomenal. But you would expect every joke to land. But it isn't happening like that. There's more like Kapil is doing his thing. We're honoring Kapil as opposed to we're really laughing with Kapil.
I say two things basically. One is that he's telling a story na. There are lots of open ends in the story. क्या हुआ, क्या नहीं हुआ. So people are listening first of all.
Right.
Second, I'll say Kapil is not I'd say a great writer.
Really?
मतलब he is like in terms of he cannot give you laughters. Like
he's very witty.
Yes.
And impromptu witty.
Yes, but he's not like who's the other guy on a show? Gulati.
Sunil Grover.
He's not Sunil Grover type funny.
Why do you think Sunil Grover is funny? मतलब उसमें ऐसा क्या है?
Sunil Grover has that I don't know man, it's just like whatever comes out of his mouth. It's so absurd yet it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Have you watched Tandav?
Yeah.
Have you seen Sunil Grover in it?
It's a great performance, man.
Bro, हाँ.
But anyways, talking about Kapil Sharma. Kapil Sharma can give you consistent entertainment. You can watch Kapil Sharma for an hour and still be like कि चलने दो ना यार. बकचोदी कर रहा है, सही है. But Sunil Grover cannot do that. And similarly, Kapil cannot do what Sunil Grover can.
Right.
He'll come in, make you laugh crazy and then go away.
It's also weird how if you will see the dynamics of the show, I forget जो मोटा वाला वो तीसरा कौन है? Someone else. Kiku.
Yeah.
Kapil never does self-deprecation unless he's talking about his English. The other two are built on self-deprecation, right? And it's और वो तुम देख सकते हो कि the easiest target is Kiku. सब उसकी ले सकते हैं. It's open game. But one thing you never see is neither Sunil nor Kiku, this guy, actively going against Kapil की ले रहे हैं वो show के.
Because he is Kapil ना.
हाँ.
Firstly, he's playing Kapil. He's not a character. They are characters. Secondly, he's the king of the show. So you cannot go against the king.
It'd be interesting to see that कि जहाँ पे like they go off script a little और वो ऐसे करते हैं and see how he responds. Because I think this is the biggest problem and it's a great हम यहाँ कैसे arrive कर रहे हैं इस conversation के अंदर कि it's great to make jokes. I make jokes all the time. But the real question is when you're 3 drinks deep and someone makes a joke at you, तो मेरे कैसे बोल दिया? That I think is missing. कि मतलब in general, once you become someone जो बहुत बढ़िया है सब कुछ है, it's important to take a joke. You know, Kapil is funny when he's depressed, shitting on Vicky Lalwani क्योंकि वो गालियाँ दे रहा है. But another thing that I would have loved to see is Kapil just joking with Vicky Lalwani and वो joke से disarm कर रहा है. Like तू मेरी league में बनी है type से. But he got pissed, he got reactive.
Netflix should do a special,
What? With Vicky Lalwani?
Vicky Lalwani and Kapil
My
Sharma.
side of the story.
Like, Kapil's special ends. What's next में? Vicky Lalwani.
My God. It's so funny. जैसे you and I don't like maybe viral बहाने की video आ जाए YouTube पे. I'll sometimes watch for like, but you and I don't really read what Vicky Lalwani writes. Like who the fuck is reading this?
No one.
Even Rajiv Basant अनुपमा चोपड़ा realize भाई video करते हैं जैसे Hollywood reporter करता है ना ऐसे बुला के round table बिठाते हैं. I don't know who is reading these critics वाले reviews now. Who's even reading a newspaper? It's just
I don't know. It was probably something inside Kapil's head more, which came out onto him.
हो सकता है. I mean, and I don't know if you want to discuss this, but since we're here, you made a parody on a famous creator, businessman,
Talking about offensive humor. Let's talk about dear friend.
This is how all roasts start, by the way. Talking about this, let's get this guy on. But so you made a parody, and I watched the parody, fun parody. And then, I mean, your bio reads fake copyright strikes on Instagram 0 out of 3, right?
Yeah.
What happened?
Please give me some tissues. Anyways, what happened was basically I made a parody video on, let's say, Vivek.
Okay.
So what happened was that I made a parody on Mr. Bindra. And parody uploaded थी. I had a shoot on the next day. 10th को 9 को मुझे एक मेल आता है. First and last warning.
For real?
Okay. That you have made a parody video which is disrespecting. And then suddenly the mail goes to the point ki Mr. Bindra has donated 200 beds to COVID patients. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, you are like offended by my humor. Why are you talking about the number of beds he has? So he was like, he's done this, that. You should not try to defame him.
Were you asked to take the video down?
Yeah, they asked me to take the video down. I was like, this is bullshit. I'm not going to do that. I went on next day shoot kara.
Were you a little rattled कि यार ये कैसे हो गया?
हाँ, थोड़ा सा. I started searching for diss track musics for Yeah, honestly, I did.
For real?
Yeah.
You're like, because you have made songs in the past on YouTube.
So, जैसे ही वो आया, I went on to Instagram. I added a story. Please send some diss musics. And honestly speaking, the next day, the song that I've made ना, Vivek, उसका म्यूजिक ट्रैक मेरे को नेक्स्ट डे मिल गया था. एंड आई स्टार्टेड मेकिंग दी हुक लाइन उसी दिन से, नेक्स्ट डे से. तो 10 तारीख को आई डिड द शूट फॉर गौरव जोन वाली वीडियो. रात को दोस्त वो सब चले गए शूट करके. आई एम ट्रांसफरिंग द फुटेज टू माई कंप्यूटर एंड आई ओपन द PC एंड आई सी दिस कॉपीराइट स्ट्राइक ऑन माई चैनल एंड आई वाज लाइक अच्छा.
Never received a copyright strike, hoping to not receive one either. What does that look like on YouTube interface पे कैसा लगता है?
इंटरफेस पे एक ऊपर आता है छोटा सा लिखा हुआ कि डिस्क्लेमर, यू हैव रिसीव्ड अ कॉपीराइट स्ट्राइक फ्रॉम अ चैनल, यू कैन रिटेलिएट एंड ऑल वगैरह का ऑप्शन आता है. बट उसमें आ जाता है 1/3.
Oh my God.
So basically if you get 3 copyright strikes, your channel gets एकदम deleted. You have 7 days and you can retaliate and all. तो basically what happened is that जब उनका मेल आया था ना, I had 3 parody videos total. मैंने एक प्राइवेट कर ली सो दैट इवन इफ दे पुट अ कॉपीराइट स्ट्राइक वो 2 पे कर पाए. तो आई हैड माई गार्ड्स ऑन तो फॉर श्योर.
You made a series of parodies on him.
हाँ, I had 2 case studies and 1 watches once. ठीक है, तो आई ऑफेंडेड हिम फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम. तो बेसिकली एक मैंने प्राइवेट कर दी थी, एक पे स्ट्राइक आ गई. मैं कहा चलो कोई नहीं, मैंने स्टोरी डाल दी कि चलो एक स्ट्राइक आ गई है, सेंड दिस टू सम न्यूज़ चैनल्स, देखते हैं क्या होता है. अगले दिन एक और स्ट्राइक आ गई. मैं कहा अच्छा जी ऐसी बात है. तो फिर आई थॉट दैट आई शुड एटलीस्ट मेक अ वीडियो कि क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा है. एंड आई टॉक टू श्वेताब, इज कनेक्टेड टू मी थ्रू आउट द प्रोसेस. एंड ही वाज लाइक कि देख वीडियो तो बनानी पड़ेगी, बोलना तो पड़ेगा, बताना तो पड़ेगा क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा है. बट आई एम नॉट द काइंड ऑफ पर्सन हु क्राई ऑन कैमरा, क्योंकि एट द एंड ऑफ द डे मुझे पता है कि एक वीडियो है वो रिकॉर्ड हो रही है, राइट. इट्स जस्ट अ मैसेज दैट आई एम ट्राइंग टू गिव. हो सकता है कहीं पे मैं कुछ फंबल कर दूं, मुझे दोबारा रिकॉर्ड करना पड़े, तो मैं 2 बार नहीं रहूँगा ना. ठीक है, फॉर अ मैसेज दैट आई एम ट्राइंग टू गिव. तो लाइक देखो रोऊंगा तो मैं नहीं, बट आई विल वेरी सेंसिबली ट्राई टू जस्ट पुट आउट द सिचुएशन. और उस टाइम भी मैंने यही चीज़ बोली थी कि यूट्यूब इज़ अ कम्युनिटी, लुक एट इट लाइक अ कम्युनिटी. इफ़ यू डिसएग्री विद मी, से समथिंग अबाउट इट. डोंट कॉपीराइट स्ट्राइक माई वीडियो if I'm not using any copyrighted material.
And if it, I mean, he has a huge amount of subscribers compared to you, right? So if it really irks you that much,
Talk about it.
हाँ, or like by all means, be like कोई बना रहा है ठीक है, मैं तो अपना business कर रहा हूँ, मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, I should not be concerned, you know.
Especially when you are poking entertainment YouTubers. He made a video on Carrie Minati saying कि Minati करके एक लड़का है, गाली देता है.
अच्छा
गाली देता है, देश के चरित्र को बिगाड़ रहा है. देश के चरित्र को नहीं बिगाड़ना है, मजबूत देश तैयार करना है, सब्सक्राइब करिए. तो मतलब इफ यू आर डूइंग दैट, यू आर गेटिंग इनटू द स्पेस ऑफ कम्युनिटी, तो आ जाओ ना.
इफ यू आर सेइंग कि मैं इनके साथ खेलूंगा
तो हम भी खेलेंगे. मतलब तुम खेलो तो ठीक, हम खेलो तो दिक्कत. तो उसके बाद दूसरी स्ट्राइक आ गई. देन आई मेड दैट वीडियो. अब ऑब्वियसली अ लॉट ऑफ क्रिएटर्स वॉच द वीडियो, दे सपोर्टेड इट डेफिनेटली, क्योंकि यार चूतिया हरकत हो रही है, कल को उनके साथ भी हो सकती है.
भी हो गया था.
ट्रेंडिंग तो नहीं हुआ था, बट ऑल द मेजर क्रिएटर्स वर
आई सपोर्ट. गौरव
डाल दिया, क्षितिज ने डाला था, श्वेताब ने डाला था, लक्ष्य ने डाला था, सबने डाल दिया, लॉट ऑफ पीपल. अब बेसिकली यूट्यूब स्पेस में नज़रों में आ गया था कि ये क्या हो रहा है. ठीक है. एंड अनदर वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग आई टेल यू. तो न्यूज़ बेसिकली देयर आर 2 न्यूज़ चैनल्स ऑन यूट्यूब. एक न्यूज़ बॉय और एक अपना दूसरा कौन है, नियॉन मैन. तो नियॉन मैन रिपोर्टेड कि भाई गौरव आर्या के चैनल पे स्ट्राइक आ गई है, इसने कर दिया है. मैं कहा गुड, चलो अच्छी बात है, गुड. नेक्स्ट डे मैं देखता हूँ कि विवेक बिंद्रा के इंस्टाग्राम पे एक वीडियो आती है इन विच ही इज रैंटिंग अबाउट टिकटॉक स्टार्स. बहुत पुरानी वीडियो जो यूट्यूब से टिकटॉक वाली है. ही पोस्टेड ऑन हिज इंस्टाग्राम लेटेस्ट, और न्यूज़ बॉय क्या रिपोर्ट करता है कि विवेक बिंद्रा जी टिकटॉक स्टार्स की बेइज्जती कर रहे हैं. While the biggest news regarding Vivek Bindra at that time is कि उसने मेरे चैनल पे स्ट्राइक मार दी है.
You were clear. You mentioned this in your video कि it's Vivek Bindra who's put the copyright strike on your channel.
मतलब basically his team. That's what I'm saying here as well कि उनके चैनल से मेरे चैनल पे स्ट्राइक आ गई. ठीक है. अब I don't know even if he's involved or not. हो सकता है if it's his only legal team जो कि
जैसे आपकी कोई पीआर की लीगल की टीम है, तो आपको यू हैव टू जस्टिफाई योर सैलरी कि देखो हम आपके रेपुटेशन पे जो लांछन आया था हमने क्या करा है उसका. हाँ.
एंड देन फिर उनको थोड़ा सा लगा कि यार ये तो दिक्कत होगी. तो ज़्यादा मेहनत करनी पड़ जाएगी पीआर में. अब हम तो सोच रहे थे सिर्फ ऐसे कर देंगे, थोड़ी उंगली कर देंगे. ये तो ज़्यादा हो गया. तो फिर दे स्टार्टेड सेंडिंग मेल्स कि लेट्स टॉक, लेट्स ट्राई टू एंड दिस ऑन अ फ्रेंडली नोट, ये वो, लेट्स टॉक. लाइक बात करने का क्या पॉइंट है. आई एम नॉट गोना गेट ऑन अ वीडियो कॉल विद यू. स्ट्राइक हटा लो, खत्म.
और यू, सो देयर इज एन ऑप्शन टू रिमूव अ स्ट्राइक इफ यू. या ओके.
तो आई सेंड टू देम कि हटा लो यार, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. तो उसका कोई रिप्लाई नहीं आया. बार बार यही कह रहे थे कि बात कर लेते हैं. बात हमने नहीं करनी. बात क्या करूँ बात करके, लॉयर थोड़ी हूँ मैं कोई. तो फिर उसके बाद आई गेस उनने कुछ हटाया नहीं था. एंड आई रिटेलिएटेड ऑन यूट्यूब. और फिर यूट्यूब ने चेक करा एंड दे फाउंड कि कुछ कॉपीराइटेड है नहीं, तो फिर क्या दिक्कत है. हटा दिया उन्होंने फिर स्ट्राइक.
डिड यू रीच आउट टू समवन ऑन द यूट्यूब टीम और वाज इट जस्ट स्टैंडर्ड जो नेट से करते हैं?
स्टैंडर्ड यूट्यूब रिटेलिएट ऑप्शन आता है वहाँ पे, उसी पे ही था.
देयर इज एन ऑप्शन कॉल्ड रिटेलिएट.
retaliate.
या respond something
हाँ
like
ऐसे
that,
कुछ
हाँ.
होगा I guess.
Retaliate is
Retaliate is
like,
like I'm using it because I'm enraged.
But yeah, of course, like I can imagine. I mean, you know, compared to him, you're a kid, you're just starting out,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, भाई चलो कुछ scene बन रहा है. Must have been very shocking. Like, और मतलब must have been harrowing as well. यार ये क्या हो रहा है? Did you have friends you could consult with beyond like YouTubers कि भाई क्या करूँ इसका? Because it's such a weird 21st century problem कि किसी मेरे काम पे किसी ने copyright strike लगाया है. It's like saying, you know, what is the कौन मंटो की कहानियों को बैन कर रहे हैं कि ज़्यादा उल्टी बात बोलता है. Like it's a weird thing. Because I mean you can say कि content है या क्या है. I think कि a parody is in a way it's flattery as well.
Yeah,
Parody has like
because I've watched you a lot now to actually make a parody of you.
हाँ तो मतलब that part of the parody is flattery. कि I think you're whatever you do I may
big
not
fan.
like you.
I'm a big fan.
हाँ I may not like you but you're unique enough to imitate. है ना? And your mannerisms. तो that maybe that subtext was missing. You know, because I will be अगर मेरा कोई ऐसे पाए मैं बढ़िया है जो हमारी नकल कर अच्छी बात है. You know, हम तो एडवर्टाइजिंग स्कूल में गए थे हमें तो सिखाया था हर पब्लिसिटी अच्छी पब्लिसिटी होती है ना.
At least people get to know you so that now you have a chance to make the story come into your.
Yeah, you know, and you can go back and forth. I'm pretty sure like one good thing अगर हो जाता है ऐसा, you could have gone like विवेक जी एक काम करते हैं इन्हें क्या पता लगेगा नॉन स्टॉप रोस्टिंग करते हैं एक दूसरे की आपका भी फायदा मेरा भी फायदा.
हाँ but I'm not a YouTube roaster as well. So I didn't want to get into that.
तो
हाँ तो anyways जो वो 7 दिन वाला period था that was definitely depressing for sure. वो तो है ही. And then it was an interesting experience for sure.
Did you have backup story videos on Google Drive वगैरह किसी हार्ड डिस्क में या नहीं?
Backup तो रहता ही है because before exporting I have the video with me.
Yeah.
तो वो तो है ही बट मतलब मेरे को पता ही था कहीं ना कहीं देखो चैनल तो कहीं नहीं जाएगा बट एक वो थॉट जो होता है ना लाइक यू आर वेरी श्योर यू आर 99% श्योर कि कुछ नहीं होगा बट दैट 1% ना फक्स यू अप एट नाइट सोने नहीं देता वो. तो हाँ वो तो डेफिनेटली था. फिर आई कॉल्ड अप माई फ्रेंड्स कि यार आ जाओ बहन चौथ रह लो मेरे साथ थोड़े दिन भाई. तो फिर वो आ गए तो थोड़ा टाइम पास हो जाता था.
And that was nice. And then this was how long ago? This was like in the first wave of COVID when this happened.
नहीं this was in I guess June 2021.
June 2021.
Yeah.
हाँ तो first wave ही हो गया ना 2021. अच्छा अभी now. अच्छा. And ever since have you had any contact with their team? कुछ नहीं. It's dead. People talk about. Do people come up to you and say यार वो आपका क्या हुआ copyright strike वाला scene? Is that like a
हाँ
thing?
मतलब अभी भी lot of people watch the old video ना वो वाला message वाला and they're like मतलब people at least get to know the story. That's for sure.
The Gaurav Arya story.
हाँ.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the day when I don't know like why is the strike feature on YouTube? You've been a YouTube native for far longer than I have been. But उसका intention क्या है? Does this option have any kind of merit at all?
Like I don't know man. Like हो सकता है किसी सेंस में हो सकता है किसी सेंस में ना बिकॉज आई थिंक दैट्स देयर जस्ट टू प्रिवेंट रेप्लिकेशन. उसके अलावा नहीं.
नॉट टू पुट डाउन लाइक क्या बोलते हैं अनलॉफुल कंटेंट या कोई पोर्नोग्राफी कर रहा है कुछ और कर रहा है.
बट लाइक यूट्यूब या फिर इंस्टाग्राम या फिर मीम कल्चर कुछ भी देखो ना इट्स सो मिक्स्ड ना. मतलब कि यू कैन नॉट से कि दिस इज माइन. मतलब अगर आपका गाना भी चल रहा है ना बट आई थिंक देयर इज स्टिल अ लॉट ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी बिहाइंड इट. Even now, जैसे if I post my musical chats on YouTube.
Your musical chats?
Yeah. So basically, there's a song going on, and the lyrics I'm sending to a girl, and at the end I get a number. So it's a chat.
Okay, I see.
And I'm dancing in front of it. So when I put it on YouTube, all the revenue goes to the song owner.
All right.
See, that's the thing. Now, even though the song has a major part in it, but I still have done a lot of creative work, right? So I think YouTube should do some kind of arrangement for that, यार.
Yeah.
क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा mixed up है like the creativity in today.
Yeah, and like if you go to the YouTube audio library, it's just very depressing songs that you don't want to play. Because they have, what I found with the YouTube audio libraries, they don't have any character. They're songs created like stock images, you know what I mean?
Got it.
इस तरह से But Spotify has done something very interesting. They haven't rolled it out in India. उन्होंने क्या करा है? As a host of a podcast, you now have the feature to all the songs that are on Spotify. You can use them in your podcast. But it's audio only, of course. So तुम video नहीं डाल सकते. But still, so for example, तुम 4 गाने चलाते हो अपने पसंद के, and in the middle you talk about it. Like तो क्या हुआ कि 3 मिनट का गाना चला, 15 मिनट बात करी, फिर 3 मिनट का गाना चला. There's like whole अभी उस पर सिर्फ 18-19 पॉडकास्ट ही आए हैं, बट देयर इज अ होल लाइक हाउ टू ट्रिप प्रॉपरली, एक ऐसा वो है, और उसमें दिखा रखा है कि अब ये करना एंड इन द मिडल दे प्ले साइकेडेलिक रॉक. देयर इज अदर्स वेयर कोई म्यूजिक क्रिटिक आता है, दे लिसन टू अ सॉन्ग, दे टॉक अबाउट इट. बट दैट्स हैपनिंग बिकॉज स्पॉटिफाई ने सारे आर्टिस्ट को ओन कर रखा है, तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है यहाँ पे. आई डोंट थिंक इट्स गोना बी, आई डोंट थिंक विल एवर बी एबल टू क्रिएट समथिंग अनलेस लाइक यू हैव अ लाइव एक्ट और लाइक समथिंग यू क्रिएट एज अ कवर ऑन योर ओन. Or you have a producer friend जो अपने घर में बैठ के beats बनाता है, like that's another thing you can do. But I would love to, for example, इतने सारे बढ़िया rock and roll के गाने हैं in the 60s rock में जो मैं यूज़ करना चाहूँगा. That is like my aesthetic. You know when you say कि मैंने एक parody बनाई, वो होली वाली वीडियो बनाई, I use that song, whatever song you used, right? Like that's you deciding to choose a song from thousands of songs कि ये song जाएगा, right? And that shows, you know, that's your creative choice, that's your stylistic choice. तो वो चीज़ नहीं होती बिकॉज देयर इज नो चॉइस. सो पीपल हैव टू लाइक ओके यार जेनेरिक म्यूजिक लगा लेते हैं. एंड इफ यू आर अ डायरेक्टर, इफ यू बीन ट्रेन्ड इन दैट एज यू से, it makes a huge difference if you can't find the exact thing you're looking for to make the scene crisp. But did you pick up directing, acting, ये क्या कहते हैं, videography on your own? क्योंकि engineering college तो
I did not do anything like that in college.
What were you doing in college? Just
I was programming, making apps.
For real?
Yeah. But फिर वही चीज़ थी, वो startup वाली चीज़ that failed. Because 12th तक ना I was very much into, you know, मतलब dramatics और debates.
Mono acting, theatre society. हाँ.
I've done it so much कि I was bored.
हाँ.
And I wanted to learn and understand about the world more. I wanted to learn about money. I wanted to learn about technology. And I think all that I've learned about money is really helpful right now. Like if I hadn't done what I did in college, that is work on startup, I wouldn't be able to have my own right now. Right? Because you have to have a very solid mindset of delayed gratification first of all.
For money. Yeah.
Yes. Otherwise it does not work.
Yeah. Just think about, for example, कि कितना समय लगता है to even, first of all, content is weird. मतलब some people ask me, भाई podcast को monetize कैसे करें पहले ही दिन पे जो एक भी episode, like what do you have to build proof of work. And that's a delayed gratification. When no money is coming in, when nothing is happening, it's just you putting out stuff, gaining an audience, thinking कि यार कि चलेगा नहीं चलेगा. That is the equivalent of like you working on a startup or someone else saying कि यार हमारी sales होंगी 6 महीने के बाद. 6 महीने हम लोग just वो you know surfing कर रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं क्या होगा. But I don't, most people are like, I want something very simple, plain, जिसका एक clear exit strategy है. Even with YouTube, I mean, you know it, you've been a native. This platform has changed tremendously. पहले क्या हुआ करता था, anyone who comes in and they mention first generation YouTuber, second, third, I don't understand it. मुझे समझ नहीं आता क्या है, because I came on very late. But बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं, including yourself, who say, भाई हम 10 साल से YouTube देख रहे हैं, हम जानते हैं क्या होता है यहाँ पे. What are some things that you think are for sure कि ये चीज़ चलती है Indian YouTube में खासकर?
Indian YouTube में plain चूतिया कॉमेडी,
जैसे
जिसमें वो साउंड इफेक्ट वाली कॉमेडी नहीं होती है,
मेक जोक ऑफ टाइप की.
हाँ,
बट दैट्स काइंड ऑफ नाइस. I won't say younger cousins watch it.
हाँ, like there's no problem with that.
हाँ.
And it's just that कि you know when you see that there is something higher than that ना, like कोई 10th की साइंस बुक पढ़ रहा है and you're like कि भाई फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री और बायो भी होती है. Now you are studying physics, chem, bio, and they're studying 10th वाली science book. Now there's no problem with that.
Right.
But you're like कब तक पढ़ेगा bro?
And I think you can easily graduate YouTube and move to other things. So definitely. I'm just wondering कि like, do you watch films? Are you like a film buff?
Yeah. But I don't watch a lot of films. But I do watch really selected.
जैसे ये तो स्टाइल मारने की बात हो गई, सच क्या है? मतलब कि
सच ये है कि टाइम नहीं है.
Because you're doing this.
हाँ यार, बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं है. मतलब before this I had so much time कि मैं जो देखता ही रहता था. But at like एक point आया when I was like अब बहुत खा लिया, अब उल्टी करते हैं.
Yeah, people don't realize ये जो दिस एक होता नहीं है कि व्हेन यू आर इन कॉलेज और राइट आफ्टर स्कूल तुम्हारा फ्री टाइम एक इलास्टिक बैंड की तरह होता है, उसे खींचते चले जाओ, अनलिमिटेड टाइम होता है, एंड यू स्पेंड इट डूइंग द मोस्ट absurd थिंग्स. 3 घंटे तक मूवी देख रहे हैं, 4 घंटे तक दोस्तों का नाइट स्टे कर रहे हैं, मेक्स नो सेंस. टाइम इज सच अ इलास्टिक कॉन्सेप्ट देन, एंड देन सडनली वंस यू गेट योर सेल्फ इन द ड्राइवर सीट, अब मुझे कुछ करना है, बिल्कुल ऐसा हो जाता है, राइट. बट आई थिंक कि जो भी इंसान जब क्रिएटर वाला काम करने की कुछ भी करता है, राइट, दैट कंजम्पशन रियली हेल्प्स. those years that you've put in just casually inferring stuff, कुछ भी नहीं कर रहे, सिर्फ देख रहे हो. जैसे what I do now is because I want to be a better internet writer. Even if I'm not tweeting, मैं non-stop वो वाली tweets देख रहा होता हूँ, सबसे ज़्यादा कामयाब होती हैं. उसमें formatting कैसी है, वो क्या क्या है, what is the word choice, what is the hook like. So I've made it a part of my scrolling so that now that I tweet, वो style को मैं internalize कर रहा हूँ. It's the same as you watching YouTube videos for कि यार इस पे ये चलेगा, ये नहीं चलेगा, so on and so forth. Most people will think कि यार it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time if
you don't know how to capitalize it.
Yeah. So when I first got on here, I was told to consume a lot. I did not heed that advice. So now that I have, I understand. But it does make your brain go insane क्योंकि बहन जो कितनी random चीज़ें हैं YouTube पे, कई brain cell मर जाते हैं. Like I'm just like on some, I did not know who Gaurav Zone is, and then I chanced on his channel,
like coming from Boston
और मैंने लास्ट वीडियो, हाँ मैंने
लास्ट Gaurav Zone vlogs
वो भी मैंने अभी लास्ट महीने में देखा. मतलब मेरे को पता लग गया था कि एक लड़का है जिसने अपना कुत्ता उड़ा दिया, so it became quite popular on the news and whatnot. But then I saw his last vlog and he was having some kind of grafting done. It was so hard to watch. उसके खून वून लगा हुआ है सर पे, क्या क्या है. I was like, my God. But do you know this person?
Yeah, I've made a parody on him, man.
Achha, I know. You made a parody on him, but do you know him?
No, I don't know.
You don't know him, okay. Yeah. Very interesting guy.
अच्छा उसने बाल लगवा लिए क्या?
हाँ.
Okay, cool. सही है यार. टोपी उतरेगी भाई बहुत टाइम बाद.
अच्छा. So he always wore a cap?
Yeah.
अच्छा.
In the starting.
अच्छा.
Starting के 1-2 vlog होंगे शायद जिसमें उसकी दिख रही होगी गंजी टाट. उसके बाद
हाँ.
टोपी आ गया.
Like balding is a real phenomenon in Indian men,
very scary.
Yeah, male pattern baldness से start होता है, but like it's still manageable because you can look cool and Jack Nicholson like. But
you should have a good head.
है ना? The problem is when the bald spot isn't here or here, it's here. That's the sort of stuff where you're like, okay, या तो Jason Statham बनो and go full. Because what will you do? जो मतलब at the end you see those uncle जो मतलब 3 बाल हैं उनको ऐसे नहीं. It just looks bad. हाँ, उड़ा लो
या फिर लगवा लो अच्छे से.
But Indians haven't really mastered good physique, so either they look like they're undergoing chemo or they just look like यार ये kingpin है Batman का. Just it never gets like have you seen like a perfect ganja in India? Unless like मैं उसकी बात नहीं कर रहा जो 71 साल का क्रिएटिव होता है जिसकी दाढ़ी बड़ी कर लेता है ना, like to hide there. Yeah, not that.
Otherwise नहीं है.
नहीं, it's so hard. Our faces are just not.
Even though they are bald, they are ये वाले बाल नहीं हटाते. हाँ. ये वाले शान होते हैं, इसको यहाँ से ऐसे करते रहेंगे.
और मैं देखता हूँ ना वो कलम भी कटवाते हैं प्रॉपरली कि मतलब यहाँ इन्वेस्टमेंट चल रही है यार, ये वाले बाल कलर कर दे. डू यू एवर फील लाइक यार आई शुड गेट अ टैटू, गेट माय हेयर कलर्ड?
नहीं.
ओके.
फर्स्ट आई डोंट हैव द एबिलिटी टू डू दैट यार.
व्हाट डू यू मीन?
मतलब फॉर मी, मतलब मेरी दाढ़ी, मेरे बाल, they go according to the videos. And I have to be so consistent with the videos that I don't have the time to shift. नहीं.
Yeah.
और बार बार कलर करा के मानी छोड़नी इनकी भाई. जितने बच्चे हैं थोड़े से रहने दो यार.
I'm just wondering, there comes a time in everyone's life when you hit a new low or a new high, or like अब कुछ change का time है, and like people usually go for a casual haircut. I'm just wondering, what if just for shock value, what if like you take entertainment to your house, your personal life, you're like मैं बाल color करा रहा हूँ, or like you do something crazy. I always wonder like what kind of creator takes the craziness inside their house, कि वो अंदर भी पागल है, like because you can play a character online and be all these people,
but then you have to be very sure with what you're doing.
Yeah,
like right now I'm not very sure with what I'm doing and why I'm doing. That's the reason why I'm not doing a lot.
Yeah,
मैं बहुत एक तो सोच के कर रहा हूँ. That's the thing. I can go all crazy. Like मैं अपनी सारी craziness को ऐसे छोड़ सकता हूँ. But I don't know where it will go.
Only one way to find out.
हाँ ये भी है. But I don't like, I'm at that point in life जहाँ पे I have some responsibilities as well ना. I have a team which is under me, which is earning because of me. So I can take the risk, but धीरे धीरे. Like I have to be very sure with what I'm doing before, you know, just letting it go.
I see. ये चीज़ लोग realize नहीं करते. Like if most people are able to, at least the way I see YouTubers, they're able to sort of sustain the entire project by sitting in front of a computer. वहीं camera लगा होता है and like just, you know, just reaction videos and like whatever. Just one man, one decision, right? But when you have a team, and I also have a team, I understand it becomes different. Especially जब in a weird way, it's like a startup. You know, like कि अब ऐसा scene है, हम ये कर रहे हैं, ये हो गया, वो हो गया. It's great. I think I would not be able to do this if I did not have a team. क्योंकि I also need, मैं वो camaraderie चाहता हूँ, वो एक inside वाली बात चाहता हूँ. हमारी company versus उनकी company, ये फलाना ढिमकाना, whatever.
And also you cannot do everything yourself. Yeah.
हाँ.
When you delegate ना, and you get free time, you understand कि what more you can do with that.
हाँ. मैं as a creative worker, I need time to think and meditate, so I can come up with the best ideas, which is true. Because the average person is checking all their messages, replying, बना भी मैं रहा हूँ, ये भी कर रहा हूँ, and like you're exhausted, you're burnt out. तो वो delegation has been super helpful, which is why we're able to do this consistently. और कोई तरीका नहीं है.
Plus, to be a creative person, I think the most important thing is to be free. If you're not free, you cannot be creative.
Yeah. Like लोग ऐसा समझते हैं, like especially if you have lots of क्या बोलते हैं, मतलब बिना agenda का time है ना अगर तुम्हारे पास, and someone sees you free, like वो क्या कर रहा है, खाली बैठा है, किताब पढ़ रहा है, just बैठा हुआ है. That for a week, like that is what you need. To that is the wellspring of ideas. क्योंकि एक लाइन में खड़े हो और तुमने फ़ोन चेक कर लिया, that लाइन में खड़े होने से कुछ बढ़िया insight आ जाती है, but like you use your phone, so you're not free. The problem then is, and I'm going to ask you this, like I don't know what fetish YouTube पे है 100K के साथ, कि 100K मतलब फिर million लोग भी हिलाते हैं इस पे, क्रिएटर भी हिलाते हैं इस पे. I get it, it's a great number. Your channel is this close to 100K. कितनी बार लोग बोलते हैं भाई 100K कब होंगे?
बोलते रहते हैं, लाइक टीम में भी पीपल आर लाइक कि गौरव 100K कर लेते हैं पहले, 100K कर लेते हैं पहले, फिर रेस्ट कर लियो, आई डोंट नो यार, मतलब क्योंकि एक तो सिल्वर प्ले बटन अटैच्ड है उससे. इट्स लाइक एन अचीवमेंट, इट्स लाइक अ माइलस्टोन. इट्स लाइक अ, यू नो, रेस की वो वाली रिबन जिसमें बस आपको अपना सर मारना है, बहुत चुल मची है अंदर से, यहाँ पहुँच गए हो तो मार लेते हैं ना आप. तो हाँ, ये तो रहता है. बट फॉर मी इट हैज़ नेवर बिन लाइक अ थिंग.
You work with pep coding.
Yeah.
And you were coding and programming in college, so that was fairly up your alley. Now, as someone who's making, you know, fairly, मतलब अब थोड़ी consistent है, मतलब उससे पहले थोड़ी inconsistent parody videos, how are you able to land them as a sponsor? And the only reason I ask is because I think YouTube is saturated with Mama Earth. सभी लोग Mama Earth बेच रहे हैं, तो खरीद कौन रहा है? Is really my question. And YouTube sponsorships are tricky. So, how were you able to land that for?
Basically, a lot of things have to come into play when you are landing a sponsorship. I think it's just not you pitching them. It's also about they pitching you. You get it? Like they have a vision for their brand, and somehow you align with it.
Yeah.
Right? And what they wanted to become, I think somehow they saw the potential in me. And even now, they are very sure with what I'm doing and what I will become. So, उस वजह से I think we could work together. It's not कि, like, the most confusing thing is that they're a coding brand. Now why are they with me?
Yeah.
But I think if what they think they're gonna become and what I think I'm gonna become coincides,
it's a win-win.
Yeah. So they want to be like, they want me to be the TVF of their, you know, an academy. So, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to make parody videos forever, na.
What do you want to make eventually? जब आपको इतनी ऑडियंस मिल जाए कि आपको फाइनली वो क्रिएटिव फ्रीडम आया जिसके लिए आप इतने साल से लड़ रहे हो, तो आप क्या करोगे?
Proper shows, I guess.
You think like a tonight show kind of gig?
No, not a night show, but more of a, I would say, India does not has a good, I would say, TV show.
Yeah.
You know, like The Office. You watch The Office, you can watch it forever, basically.
Repeatable, funny template. बार-बार चलता रहता है. And the
it's not even, I would say, like The Office does not has a template. That's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about it. Like, if a character breaks off and goes to a jungle and is like कि मैं अब मैन वर्सेस वाइल्ड की पैरोडी करूँगा. I don't think it has a template. It's just so much fun. So
Also, I think the great part about that show is there is the acting and then there is the bitching that happens, after the camera. और मुझे लगता है, I'm not sure because I haven't watched too much of The Office, but I know enough about it. कि ये जितने रोडीज थे, जितने रियलिटी टीवीज थे, they probably borrowed that idea, कि पहले तुम शो करोगे, फिर वो बोलते हैं नॉमिनेशन का दिन आया तो मैं बहुत डरा हुआ था, मैंने कहा नोमान के साथ चला जाता हूँ, इससे मेरा काम बन जाएगा. It's a very cool thing, it's like saying कि show plus BTS mixed together.
it's like basically we call it a mockumentary,
अच्छा, okay. Have you watched This Is Spinal Tap?
This is Spinal Tap, no.
It's the best rock mockumentary ever. जो मतलब mockumentaries बहुत कम है.
But you'll have to know about rock a lot, नहीं?
नहीं, वो चुदियाप है. जैसे कि this is a Bach inspired piece called Lick My Love Pump. ऐसी बात है, ऐसे jokes हैं उसके अंदर. Like जैसे ऐसे नहीं होता. There's always that dumb guy who's in a creative field who's dumb but attractive. एक बड़ा weird वो होता है ना. तो बोलते हैं यार कि amps दिखाओ गिटार के, तो वो गिटार के amp दिखाने जाता है. कह रहा मैंने ना इसको, मैं सोचता था यार 10 तक की वॉल्यूम जाती है, लाउड नहीं होता, इसमें 11 तक जाती है. एंड कहता है साउंड तो सेम रही पर नहीं 11 तक जाती है. अरे पर साउंड सेम 11 तक देखना, ये 11 लेके जा रहा है. तो इट्स जस्ट इस तरह का है. बट अदर कोई मॉक्यूमेंट्रीज, डू यू हैव एनी रिकमेंडेशंस?
आई वुड से द ऑफिस के अलावा कॉमेडी में तो आई हैवंट फाउंड एनीथिंग. लाइक वो पार्क्स एंड रिक्रिएशन इज गुड. 2.5 Men is really great show यार.
With Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Not with Ashton Kutcher.
हाँ, वहीं तक देखा है मैंने. When he's dead,
Yeah.
I'm also dead. बहुत अच्छा है. चार्ली शीन के साथ, like I think he was playing himself.
Have you watched his interviews?
Yeah.
Just win. बस जीतना है. He got AIDS, bro.
But still, like he made something fun to watch, नहीं?
Yeah.
Like fucking 7-8 seasons of stuff. Which I can now watch again and again.
And he was very nonchalant. Like there was no real writer's depression in his life. वो मौज ले रहा होता था हमेशा.
हाँ.
Which was nice to see. Because you would expect like the worst kind of person to, portray a writer on screen. Not like the happy guy who like, like also is like social, gets girls. बल्कि उसका भाई और उसके बेटे की कहानी थोड़ी दुखद है. Like you're just trying to like live their life. Yeah. Crazy. 2.5 Men was, I remember watching it on Star Movies. Star Movies nahi. What channel did come on? Star Movies tha. 2.5 Men, a bunch of others. Right when Dish TV had started to come out in India. That's when Dish TV, Airtel Digital TV, Tata Sky, इन सब पे आते थे ये सारे shows.
मैं बहुत छोटा हूँ. हाँ.
22 ना.
हाँ. मतलब but I don't know if we were allowed to watch. English channel हमारे उसमें थे नहीं पैकेज में.
अच्छा. हाँ. नहीं सारे होते नहीं हैं. जैसे ऐसा होता था हमारे यहाँ के स्टार मूवीज HBO सब में आएंगे, लेकिन बाकी सारे नहीं आएंगे. उनके लिए आपको अलग से, और वो रिकॉर्डेड सिरी या एलेक्सा वाली वॉइस बोलती है इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करने के लिए अपने DTH को रिचार्ज कराएं, जो भी बकचोदी है.
Other than that, I would also recommend Californication.
Oh my God! मैंने सोचा मैं बोलूँ ना बोलूँ इससे कि पता नहीं है.
It's a great show यार.
Yeah.
For a writer ना,
हाँ.
such a writer on screen. You can just like कितना कनेक्ट कर सकते हो ना तुम उस इंसान के चुतियाब से.
Do you know he checked himself into sex addiction? Phoenix. उसको sex addiction हो गई थी.
उस बंदे को.
He confessed. Real life David Duchovny. Sex addiction में he checked into his rehab. So he was also playing himself.
Yeah.
I think we like that. In general, we like people who are not really putting up a character by the virtue of playing themselves.
That's the best acting, नहीं?
Have you watched Once Upon a Time in Los Angeles? नहीं, LA. Once Upon a Time in LA. क्वेंटिन टैरेंटिनो की जो एक अजीब सी पिक्चर आई थी स्टारिंग लियोनार्डो डिकैप्रियो एंड ब्रैड पिट.
अभी आई थी. हाँ, देखी.
So Brad Pitt is phenomenal in there. He's playing an action director जिसका बीवी से डिवोर्स हो गया. तो he was giving his speech is like कितना आसान है मतलब मेरे लिए करना, क्योंकि मेरी जिंदगी ऐसी है, मैं अकेला रहता हूँ, मेरी बीवी से डिवोर्स हो गया. But Californication, David Duchovny, every episode, my God, bro.
बहुत अच्छा है.
Even just how
like there is no, I would say, special value in that show, but just watching it is like
it's tasty binging.
For me it's like watching myself in some ways.
It's also nice that his dialogues aren't canned. He'll always take a poetic way out. He'll always मतलब he'll be very licentious, बहुत सारी औरतों के साथ scene करेगा, but there's always that एक need to twist it off in a poetic way in the end, you know? And he's constantly called poor man's Bukowski. He's trying to recreate his career and stuff. It's fantastic.
Plus how disconnected he is from things, yet connected to them. Like his car is just
टूटी फूटी पुरानी सी,
तो
हाँ,
नहीं ले आता है.
But that's also fantasy. I think now I don't know, there isn't an Indian fantasy really, but there's this sort of aging guy who's still cool enough for everyone. That kind of trope, right? Because he's not in with anything at all.
Who wants to stay young forever.
Who wants to stay young forever, and that's showcased by his lifestyle and stuff. Like, oh, बहुत अच्छा writer है लेकिन struggling dad है. Would I want his personal life with all its chaoses? I wouldn't think so. Because I've tried to have बहुत turbulent personal life में my work suffers completely. You cannot be like that.
वो तो है.
है ना? You would just say all these...
बहुत like that's why it is fun to watch as well ना, कि कितना तुक्के सी चीज़ है कि even in all this chaos you're able to manage to buy a fucking crazy car.
Yeah, weirdly enough, or buy your daughter a guitar. And he always makes... Have you watched Decoupled on Netflix? है ना?
I just watched it.
Yeah, so I had the privilege of having Manu on this podcast as well, the guy who's written it. And one thing that I noticed between both Arya here and that, your last name and his first name, and David Duchovny is, जब भी किसी सभा में खड़े होते हैं ना, everyone's saying the nice thing, the polite thing. These guys can't stop themselves from pointing out the obvious झूठ जो चल रहा है रूम में, and often get blamed for that, ridiculed for that. अरे पार्टी खराब कर दी. But I think we need that. We need those bad actors. We need those guys who are a little mischievous, जो बोल देते हैं यार pretend मत करो, मुझे पता है तुम्हें घर पर जाके अपनी like whatever, like you're gonna try to bang your maid or whatever, like whatever like fucked up shit is happening, ये देखो ये pretend कर रहे हैं ऐसा है वैसा है. I don't know, I really respect people who are able to like be funny and still tell the truth, and that's getting lost now. It's becoming less and less and less. Like I don't know what is the next set of shows that's gonna come out in India. How heteronormative cis ये पूरा ये scene होगा. So that remains a challenge. But YouTube is still a free space where you don't have to be very politically correct. You can still do a lot of stuff.
That's the only great thing about YouTube. You can do whatever and not have a censor board.
Because everywhere else, like on Instagram also, you'll see something लोग cancel करने आ जाएंगे यार, हमारी feelings hurt हो गई हैं, हम ना फलाने उससे आते हैं. अच्छा,
I think a lot of people don't even get to YouTube because long form है.
Yeah.
Like 10 minute की video है, plus you're not able to get the jokes.
Also, people are scared. I've talked to a lot of Instagram creators. They're not sure how this landscape works, and they're not willing to slut themselves out, for the lack of a better word. क्योंकि Instagram पे it's fairly easy. I'm not saying कि ये बहुत आसान है audience बनाना, but
easier than comparatively.
Yeah. YouTube is different. You need to know the pulse of the market. You can't just be like no context मैं आ गया हूँ scene पे. It doesn't really work like that. It is helpful to have context into what's happening, then go in.
But eventually, if you want to have a long-term thing, YouTube is the place to go.
YouTube is still like the biggest search engine for a lot of things. My friends who work behind the scenes at YouTube say कि यार भाई, this is never going to go out like Facebook went out.
Not possible. Like it'll grow bigger. That's for sure.
What is next? Say you hit 100K. Are you gonna like now collaborations? Do you ever think about collaborations? Like,
now I'm thinking about it. But like my focus more will always be on mockumentaries in 2022, I guess. I want to be really good at making mockumentaries.
What is a parody video that you enjoyed making the most?
I would say the first Watches Once Wali, Technical Guruji.
Technical Guruji.
Because that's the point I realized ki this is it.
This is the code that I'm going to follow.
Or this is the work I'm going to do. I can go all in. Like, I guess it was in January 2021. I was recording that video and I had so much fun. कि मार्च में आई शिफ्टेड.
You moved out of your parents' house.
हाँ, कि I was like कि चलो अब ये कर सकते हैं बॉस.
What is it like moving out for YouTube? It's not like you're moving out for a job. तो वो एक चीज़ है, just even saying that.
It's a hassle. There's a lot of back and forth, lot of crying, lot of talks, lot of.
You hadn't moved out before, like this is your first time.
हाँ, मतलब पहले for college I went out for like a month. PG में रहा मैं, but उसके बाद like after the startup stopped, I was like, there's no point to waste money here. Then I moved back in. But नहीं, उसके अलावा तो नहीं.
Yeah.
एकदम से और मार्च में going out and then flat में.
Yeah.
For what? So हाँ, all these questions were there, but I think when you have money in your hand, when you control the money,
yeah, you can make more choices. You're more free.
That's what money buys. It buys freedom.
अरे वाह नवल क्या बात है. Are you on Twitter?
I just don't understand what's the value in Twitter. It's just so, like, I'll say you can find entertainment in Twitter, but at this point I'm not very sure if I should spend time on Twitter or not.
Yeah, because you're on this platform. It makes sense. But I will say this, and I tell this to all my friends who are creators. If you have a brain fart that is not going to go on a video, just use it on Twitter. You're a creator. So creators have an upper hand on Twitter. When I say creators, I mean specifically YouTube creators. I've seen this across all. मैंने देखा है, मैंने रिया को देखा है, मैंने ऋषु को देखा है, मैंने सबको देखा है. Everyone just has an ungodly amount of followers on Twitter that makes no sense. Even I, with whatever subs we have, even I have like 9,000, almost 8,000. It makes no sense, to have that many on Twitter. Why? But you're a YouTube creator, so if you create like a small tweet, 280 characters की कुछ भी कि आज मेरा मन कर रहा है कि मैं फलानी चीज़ कर लूँ. Like it, because you know it. When you write, there are some things that are struck off the final draft कि ये नहीं जाएगा. And those jokes, those insights are wasted कि किसी और दिन use करूँगा, but that day never happens. So all brain farts, the best way. Or you can also workshop your jokes on Twitter. You can see what template is working. So I often go and do this. This is like some weird. मुझे पता था कि there's a lot of incels and guys with problems on Twitter. So I was like, amateurs jack off to porn, masters use their memory, something like that. तो वो जो amateur master वाला template है, I exhausted it to the grave. Then other people started doing it. I was like, that's interesting. So probably now I can use this insight and use it somewhere else. किसी podcast में, किसी और चीज़ में. It's a good platform for that.
Testing platform.
Very good testing platform, especially if you can write. और वो ऐसा भी नहीं है कि इंग्लिश में ही लिखना है. आई थिंक मोस्ट पीपल सी ट्विटर एज कि SSR लवर्स आए हुए हैं यहाँ पे, या फिर आज ध्रुव राठी कैंसिल हो गया. लाइक इट्स वेरी पॉलिटिकल, बट इट्स यू कैन क्रिएट योर ओन स्मॉल नुक on Twitter and test out. And like, why go diss a creator on YouTube when you can diss them on Twitter? Quote retweet कर दो, ये चूतिया है.
But one thing that pisses me off Twitter is that the notifications I get.
Yeah, what?
About girls tweeting.
Yeah, you can.
I am single. Are you?
क्या? How are you getting these notifications?
I don't know, man.
I am single. Are you? ये notifications कहाँ से आ रही हैं?
Like some girl is tweeting. हाँ. From I don't know where in India.
अच्छा.
And I get the notification कि check out this tweet. I'm like, why?
Oh, maybe because you don't follow. वो topics आते होंगे ना, feed पे आते होंगे ना randomly.
I am 17 and you. Look at that.
एक मिनट दिखाना. Can I see it? Sorry. Acha, you also follow Viraj. Nice. Recent tweet from Corona. I'm just seeing it. Recommended for you. I'm not gonna say it. Oh my God.
Is this because I've seen a lot of this?
Oh my God.
Now I'm in this loop of...
नहीं, मैं बताता हूँ. Go to topics. You can probably go to topics later on and change that. मेरे साथ भी randomly बहुत चीज़ें ऐसे होती थी. ये नहीं, not this exactly, but like मेरे को आ रहे थे post, क्या कहते हैं, entrepreneurs के. मेरे को नहीं follow करना entrepreneurs को. हाँ. भाई अब बंद कर दे फोन को अपने.
Let me show you some more ना.
Oh my God.
एक तो ये कुणाल कामरा, please if you're watching bro, please. अच्छा हाँ. If you're single, can I flirt with you?
Why are you getting recommended for you?
And Kunal Kamra, if you're watching, please change the template of now who did this. मतलब
It's getting boring, हाँ.
कुछ नया लाओ bro, please.
बहुत weird है यार. या तो like I'm full disclosure. Either you've simped on Twitter for a long time or
I don't know.
If this is the first.
मैंने इतना use करा ही नहीं Twitter honestly.
अगर ये first user experience है ना,
हाँ.
तो लड़के बर्बाद हैं. Because this is the kind of Twitter I only see. For example, if there's a 19-year-old in my team, he'll often like a tweet like that. तो मेरे पास आएगा. मैं कहा, क्या कर रहे हैं घर पे बैठ के? हमारी समाज में भी इज्जत खराब कर रहे हैं, ऐसे tweets like कर रहे हैं. मैं बोलता भाई तुम ये क्या कर रहे हो यार? मतलब ये मत करो. तो मैं उन्हें फिर सेंसर कर देता हूँ कि अच्छी बात नहीं है, ऐसे हम एक टीम में हैं. बट आई नेवर गेट दैट. मेरे को तो ऐसे आते हैं कि 5 things you should do to build a startup. That's usually what I get. I follow no one from Twitter के अंदर ना, there's a great almost LinkedIn like idea. एक पूरा space है जहाँ पे लोग बोलते हैं at 17 I had a failed startup. At 22 I was divorced. At 25, I'm building my life back again. Here are 5 lessons I learned from this.
But there's just this randomness in Twitter, nahi?
Very random. I mean, you can curate your feed. Once you realize कि यार ये बहुत बढ़िया चीज़ है, and I'm just gonna use it for slight consumption of the people that I like and enjoy, whose thoughts are. Because the other thing is, Twitter पे ना, there are several people who will be मतलब millionaire. जैसे Elon Musk's Twitter is phenomenal. Because he मतलब उसमें he's like कि आप log on to Twitter so you can be cancelled 5 to 10 years from now. You know, ऐसे. So he often makes fun of stuff, and that's something that you will never see in his YouTube videos या उसके interviews में. वो कभी ऐसे नहीं बोलेगा कि you know, Dogecoin to the moon. But he's able to shit post. So Twitter is a great shit posting platform as well, especially if you don't take yourself too seriously. और बाबा यूट्यूबर ही लिखते हैं नई वीडियो कब आ रही है, नई वीडियो आ रही है, ये सब लिखते रहते हैं, which is a little bit funny. I'm like, यार ये तो कहीं और लिखो ना, मतलब यहाँ क्यों लिख रहे हो नई वीडियो आ रही है? Like I don't give a fuck. But do you do that? Do you announce your videos like new video आ रही है? No.
I just post them. I'm making videos so that you don't watch it today, you watch it tomorrow. कभी भी देखो यार.
क्या बोलते हैं? Evergreen content.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Gaurav Arya's videos have aged well. And they have. Like एक साल पुरानी Holi video is like still something you can watch. वो अच्छा, I really like that video जिसके अंदर ना जब तेरे मन में एक पिक्चर चल रही है कि मैं यहाँ से बचता हुआ जा रहा हूँ, यार तेरे मन में पिक्चर चल रही है और दोस्त मारते हैं. Which is I think usually what happens on Holi. When you're like कि मैं ऐसे बच जाऊँगा, ये कर लो. क्योंकि क्या I remember Holi दिवाली पे सुपरमैन बनने का जो कॉम्प्लेक्स होता है ना आदमी में, वो आ जाता है कि मैंने जो अंडों से बचा है, ऐसे
गुब्बारे रखे हैं, मैंने ऐसे मारूंगा. हाँ, ये तो है.
पर दोस्त हरामी होते हैं. जिस तरह की
उठा के कीचड़
शोषण होता है ना, जिस तरह का होली पे बहुत बहुत भयंकर होता है. मैं उससे बॉस्टन की होली की याद दिलाता हूँ.
अच्छा.
तो गोरे भी थे बहुत सारे, वो खेल रहे थे. अच्छा, इनको क्या है कि ये पूछते हैं मैं आप पे रंग लगा लूँ. ये अकेला दिन था जहाँ बहुत सारे भारतीय लोग, ऐसा नहीं है कि बॉस्टन से न्यूयॉर्क से उड़ के आ रहे हैं जी होली खेलने. चूतिया बनती कोई वो नहीं है स्कोप. तो वहाँ मैं देख रहा था यार कोई गुंडाई नहीं चल रही. तो मैंने 3-4 और लड़के मैंने यार थोड़ा बहन होली का जो हुड़दंग होता कोई तो मचाएगा. समवन हैज टू रिप्रेजेंट द बैडनेस, द डार्क साइड ऑफ होली. किसी को तो करना पड़ेगा. आओ हम करते हैं. तो हम जाके हैप्पी होली रगड़ के इवेंचुअली आई सॉ कि यू रियलाइज इंडिया में जिस तरह से हम अपने पर्सनल स्पेस में लोगों को आने देते हैं वास्टली डिफरेंट फ्रॉम कोई दिक्कत नहीं हुई. बिकॉज गोरे कह रहे हैं ओ शायद ऐसे ही होता होगा इसलिए इट्स ओके. बट यू रियलाइज कि हम जिस तरह से लोगों से बहुत जल्दी फ्रैंक हो जाते हैं ना,
कोई नहीं
ऐसे नहीं होता अनलेस पीपल आर ड्रंक. सो
दैट्स वेरी ट्रू.
या वेल
आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट चेंजेस एज वेल, यू नो.
व्हाट?
When you go from one class to the other, this is the one thing which changes majorly. Your personal space वाली चीज़ ना, people feel a little disconnected from other people कि ये ड्राइवर है तो ये ड्राइवर है.
इंडिया में तो है क्लास प्रॉब्लम ये वाली, and we do almost nothing. One thing like people will do is thank you भैया. वो एक over patronize करते हैं, you know, like ठीक है किसी ने कुछ रख दिया बढ़िया है, but they're not really sure of how to behave. They know a class problem exists, so they overcompensate. Thank you भैया आपने बहुत अच्छा करा, thank you. It just feels fake.
क्या बढ़िया काम किया मनसुख भाई.
और वो exactly ऐसा ही. And that is not the solution. Because you're not really, if you really want to promote equality, you have to just, I don't know क्या है, क्योंकि मैं भी उस तक पहुंच नहीं पाया हूँ. There is really no way. एक होता है पेट्रनाइज करना प्यार से, पर एकदम पे फिर रोल चेंज करके कोल्ड हो जाना, यार वो लेके आओ. सो इट डजंट रियली वर्क आउट.
ये तो है. लाइक प्रोफेशनलिज्म एंड फ्रेंडशिप मिक्स करना इज अ वेरी, यू नो, डाइसी रोड अहेड, दैट्स फॉर श्योर.
या एंड आई मीन आई डोंट नो, लाइक इन ऑफिसेज वगैरह मैंने देखा है कि लोग इवेंचुअली जब बहुत साल तक एक जगह काम करते हैं, सुट्टा पीते हुए कोई भी बात कर लेते हैं. मुझे थोड़ा अजीब सा लगता है. लाइक इन द फ्यू प्लेसेस आई वर्कड एट, आई डोंट वांट टू डिस्कस माय सेक्स लाइफ विद यू ऑन द थर्ड डे. लाइक इट्स अ लिटिल वियर्ड, यू नो, स्पेशली इफ यू आर लाइक सेमी गुड लुकिंग. लाइक भाई आप तो करते ही हो क्या ब्रो, लाइक gets weird. Gets really weird. Are there any creators right now that on YouTube that whose content you enjoy, whose content you watch, and like, yeah, this is a good parallel guy doing some great work? Besides Puneet Superstar.
पुनीत भाई तो लव है. आपका जैक्स इज डूइंग गुड.
Yeah.
Satish Ray
is great, bro.
He's doing great. And other than that, I watch, I guess, some foreign YouTubers.
Like who?
There's a guy called Trevor Wallace.
I haven't heard of him. Is he cool? Comedy?
Yeah. you'll see a lot of my videos and his videos being similar because I think it'll be definitely inspired अगर उसका content इतना देखा है. Captain Sinbad and
मैं बोलने वाला था.
Watches
Once उसका ये
beautiful. बहुत ही मतलब
बहुत अच्छा है.
But उसका बहुत short videos है I think and he does not gets into every aspect. वो वाली चीज़ है.
His problem in life is I am funny but I'm also self-help.
Yes, that's the biggest problem. उसके अलावा I would say Shirtless. There's a guy and there's a Ryan the Leader.
अच्छा this is Ryan the Leader कोई Discord का बंदा है.
हाँ Discord पे भी आता है. But like majorly they make comedy sketches.
मैंने जस्ट का एक वीडियो देखा था जिसके अंदर he's doing like a Ryan the Leader parody of some kind.
हाँ Discord mod
वाला वीडियो उसका. हाँ I know Discord mods. Someone who works in my team, Sahil, वो पहले Discord mod ही था. मैं उसकी बहुत लेता था इस बात पे. क्या मिलता है तेरे को करके? पावर, फेम. 20,000 लोग मैनेज कर रहा हूँ. 8,000 लोग. मैं मॉड हूँ, कुछ भी करा सकता हूँ. ग्रेट. आई डोंट गेट ऑनलाइन कम्युनिटीज. मेरिट होता है, अच्छी बात है.
मतलब they find it that it is power.
Yeah.
That is the
Sorry Sahil, I love you.
While when you are actually in the real world, you'll be like कि नहीं. But ठीक है. And I think there's a lot in this world. You cannot say this is right or wrong.
I know people make friendships on Discord, great friendships, and they stay. I'm still. अब now it's turned to the internet, but I still remember it start. किसी भी दोस्ती बनाने का तरीका होता है. स्कूल में कौन है, लोकेलिटी में कौन रहता है, कौन ट्यूशन में आता है, खेलता कौन है साथ में, एंड देन यू गो. अब इंटरनेट पे दोस्त बन जाते हैं, है ना.
I think the person matters. कैसे भी मिलो. If the person is right, it's right.
Now how many internet creators have you met because of your work?
I've met like 3-4, not many. Most of them are like from like Jags. He's from Mumbai. We're connected, but you know, कभी मिल लेंगे definitely.
भाई आप सेम फील्ड में सेम काम कर रहे हो, हाथ मिला लेते हैं.
Yeah. When we talked, we really vibed. क्योंकि definitely what he watches is what I watch.
Yeah, he's super funny.
Yeah. Talking about internet friends.
पीछे. हाँ.
Okay. Memories याद आ गई. I think पूरी की पूरी टीम ही मेरी इंटरनेट से आई है एक तरह से. You know, like Rudra is an Instagram friend. Nikhil was the executive producer. Got it from Instagram. फिर उसके थ्रू कोई आ गया.
ये सब दिल्ली के लोग थे.
हाँ दिल्ली के लोग थे.
It's crazy. हम realize नहीं करते. Like I had no idea. Like the internet would play such a powerful role. We would start it off as just consumers. Facebook पे farmville खेलने वाले लोग. Just standard shit. Then like this is providing opportunities, jobs, an audience. It's कितना भी तुम बोल लो भाई सोशल मीडिया मेरी जिंदगी तबाह कर रहा है. It's given at least to creators. It's given so much freedom.
Yeah.
All my team is remote. Everyone from the internet who watches my content या ऐसा कुछ है. I wouldn't know any other way. क्या करें? Hiring के एक LinkedIn पे पोस्ट डाले, वेट करे भाई कोई. Even that is on the internet. Like I don't know. The physical world is just for friends now. जो पुराने अपने यारी हैं या जो मतलब चीज़ें हैं. Everything else is just like on the internet. Even like Twitter Spaces. Yeah, were you on Clubhouse at any point?
I tried it on some friend's phone, I guess.
Fucking weird.
किससे भी बात कर रहे हैं, right?
कुछ भी है वो. किसी भी conversation में. I was on one of those rooms, date, fuck, marry type के.
अच्छा.
रात को my God, horrible mistake, bro, horrible mistake. क्योंकि मैंने थोड़ी सी दारू पी रखी थी तो मैं मजे करने के मूड में था. लाइक तो लोग क्या कर रहे थे, they were doing like some weird pickup lines and shit. I'm like चलो यहाँ जाते हैं. मैंने fuck वक ज़्यादा बोल दिया. This guy is misbehaving, guys throw him out. वो जो MTV स्प्लिट्स वाला टाइप के शक्ल के लड़के नहीं होते जिनका काम होता है कि हम खूबसूरत हैं और हम इंस्टाग्राम पे ब्लू टिक ले लिया लेकिन हम खूबसूरती को ओवर प्ले करते रहेंगे. सो दे हैव नो पर्सनैलिटीज. दे after that, I was still a listener. I was these guys nowadays, using fuck and all. Guys, this bad language will not be tolerated. So next, who do you want to take a shot at? I want to take a shot at Mohini. Mohini, you're like a flower. I see you just कुछ भी and like, oh, thank you. मैं कहा यार ये क्या चल रहा है? What is this fake jacking off contest happening? Cringed me out.
What do you think about Omegle?
Omegle, भाई यूट्यूबर तो खूब यूज़ करते हैं उसे. It used to be popping when I was a kid. अब I don't know how to use it कि I'm scared, honestly. I don't want to see dicks.
नहीं उसमें वो होता है, फिल्टर होता है.
अच्छा अब आ गया
18+. हाँ
when I started using Omegle in 7th grade, there were no filters. मतलब
And your childhood was ruined.
ruined. मेरा एक दोस्त मेरे को बोलता था चल हुक्का पीते Omegle करते हैं, तो पागल है क्या? तो वो हुक्का पिलाता था और वो क्या कहते हैं, he's like नहीं यार बहुत अच्छी फॉरेन की भी लड़कियाँ आती हैं ऐसे. मैं कहा अच्छा हम 7वीं क्लास में हैं, हमें क्या पता है. एंड लाइक वो हमारी शक्ल देखी सब बंद कर देते थे. So
Still happens.
yeah, it's weird, no? There's this YouTuber Vishesh Bilind, he's a friend. वो आया था पॉडकास्ट पे. तो he has a very heavy voice. वो ASMR वगैरह करता है.
Okay.
तो उसकी सारी वीडियोस ही ऐसी आती हैं. Omegle में it's this guy sitting in typical YouTuber setup. It's like, hey baby girl. It's like, oh my god, ये इसकी आवाज़ कितनी बढ़िया है. And he makes those videos. What do you do on Omegle?
I don't know. We get onto Omegle when you're drunk. That's
Yeah.
Otherwise कुछ नहीं.
मतलब आई नो कि समय रहना वगैरह चेस वेस भी खेल लेते हैं, ये सब कर लेते हैं.
हाँ, but I don't know. Like right now I'm at that point जहाँ पे ना अब मैं सोचने लगा हूँ कि what's the value in this?
What's the value in anything or like just the value in this?
Whatever
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Okay.
उसमें क्या value है? Which is I think fucking up me a little as well.
But you make people laugh. That's a service. I think of it like that.
I think it's a gateway for me as well. It's like an outlet for me. But that's the beauty of this job. It's not just I'm not just doing this for you. Okay, it's not a service per se. It's like I'm also enjoying the process.
Of course.
I'm just putting out what I want to put out.
You're not a prostitute.
Yeah.
Which is why otherwise you would hate the service.
हाँ, तो basically I have to find the right mix, of service and
Expression.
yes.
I see it as a service where the expression is embedded. क्योंकि मेरे को अच्छा लगता है कि अच्छा, like some people message me यार please don't stop Dostcast, हम सो नहीं पाते. Fuck, like okay, shit. But in a way it's nice, no? कि whatever you do is resonating with at least 1 lakh people. That's huge.
Yeah.
हम realize नहीं करते because of the competitive landscape. That's a huge number of people who said कि I will click this button.
Yeah, I mean if 1 lakh people stand in front of me. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good contest. Whenever I say that, people are like, यार please don't say that again. हमें पता है लेकिन हमें और चाहिए. अरे मादर चोद. देखो यार मतलब.
हाँ.
It's all across India and maybe even other countries. Like कोई कहीं बैठा है कहीं बैठा है यार ये बंदा यार ये बढ़िया लगता है. भाई आप कुछ मैं गौरव आर्या टीवी को देखता हूँ बहुत बढ़िया लगता है मेरे को. It's great.
हाँ, definitely.
Instagram पे like you don't really get there. YouTube पे you can go anywhere in India and you will find them. Instagram still has like a solid class filter अभी भी मुझे लगता है. Not as many people from all across India and all classes are on Instagram as they are on YouTube.
हाँ, ये तो है. Like YouTube has more people for sure.
Yeah.
क्योंकि उसमें I guess
More males also.
वो long form content है ना वो वाला. Make joke of types.
Make joke of types, right?
हाँ,
right.
तो lot of people enjoy watching it. Plus TV shows के वो आ जाते हैं, episodes आ जाते हैं उस पे.
TV shows के episodes, there's specific YouTube series that are made like badly shot, badly produced, but सबको देखनी है, मुफ्त में देखनी है. No one has the time or the debit card to buy a Netflix subscription.
बच्चों के लिए बच्चों वाली cartoons हैं.
YouTube for kids. Yeah. Great platform. I used to be very पहले मेरे को लगता था यार क्या ये roasting ये सब क्या whatever. Now that I'm in the daldal, I enjoy it. It's very good. But
What?
But I'm like ये दलदल ऐसा ही रहेगा या कब इसके अंदर ऐसा होगा कि यार हम सारे ना अब एक दूसरे की बुराई नहीं करेंगे, अब हम सारे दोस्त हैं, अब हम ऐसे करेंगे.
There's a point to that, नहीं?
This platform thrives on मसाला, है ना?
वो तो है ही.
फलाने पे वीडियो बना दो. आजकल YPM व्लॉग्स की गांड मार रहे हैं सब लोग, मैं देख रहा हूँ.
भाई बना दूँ क्या? But I'll have to watch YPM.
I watched YPM vlogs a long time ago. यहीं बाहर बैठ के मेरा दोस्त कहता तूने YPM vlogs देखा है? like a year and a half में. नहीं कह रहा देख. Hey, so what's up guys? अच्छा. And I was very surprised that this sort of stuff can happen. Lifestyle glorification करना. मैंने गाड़ी खरीदी है, मेरा ड्राइवर भाई है, all that jazz. But yeah.
Good idea for a YouTube video.
Yeah.
हाँ, तो मतलब at the end audience also wants to watch नहीं ना यही.
Yeah.
Like Jordan Peterson lecture या फिर Jordan Peterson
roasting.
वो तो है.
WhatsApp status chaos in order ना, मैं समझ गया था इसने.
Jordan Peterson क्या बोलते हैं? Feminist को क्या करता है?
Destroys.
Destroys.
Roasts.
A good title for a porno video.
Yeah, and I think like full disclaimer, people just click on negative verbs more. है ना? मैंने like my own observations have been like मैंने कौन सी वीडियो देखी थी, हाँ मैंने लास्ट प्रखर साथ भी पॉडकास्ट कर रहा था, उसमें बात करी थी. देयर आर दीज एक दो कंपीटिंग कैटेगरीज है यूट्यूब पे, बड़ी वियर्ड सी. टॉम हिडलसन flirting with women 15 minutes straight, Tom Hiddleston respecting women for 15 minutes straight, और वो दो ऐसे चलती रहती हैं पैरेलल में, where respecting में all his simp moves and stuff and like flirting में just over glorify करके और पीछे उसके ऊपर voice over कर रखे हैं दिखाने के लिए. But I was so addicted to these destroys compilations bro. रात भर बैठ के मैं बस लोगों को destroy होते हुए देख रहा था. Andrew Schultz cancels, woke, लेफ्टिस्ट क्या कहते हैं, लेडी फिंगर, कुछ भी रैंडम आ रहा है. बेन शपीरो कितना डिस्ट्रॉय करता है लोगों को. बट देयर इज अ डार्क साइड टू दैट, बिकॉज देन यू स्टार्ट बिलीविंग, स्पेशली व्हेन यू फर्स्ट स्टार्ट वाचिंग जॉर्डन पीटरसन, यू फील लाइक कि दुनिया ही ऐसी है, मतलब हम सही हैं क्योंकि हम पॉलिटिकल करेक्टनेस के इस तरफ हैं और अब ये सारे पागल हैं. ऐसी बात नहीं है यार, लोग अपना कर रहे हैं बेचारे, उनको अगर लगाना है ही हिम शी हर लगाने दो, हमारा क्या जा रहा है.
सही बात
है ना. उसको उसकी निंदा करके is not going to make anyone happy. And I generally like would get pissed off at gender pronouns. I'm like, it's stupid, because most people don't even know क्या कर रहे हैं. वो ऐसी दिल्ली में
like why would I even get into your sexuality now?
Yeah. उससे भी ज़्यादा like I genuinely think most people are using gender pronouns in India as a status signal. They don't even know what they are. हाँ. Like उसका context नहीं पता क्या है कि भाई.
And they don't even get to use it that much नहीं.
हाँ. कोई मैं तो मैं बता रहा हूँ किसी के 166,000 फॉलोअर होंगे ना इंस्टाग्राम पे जिसने शी हर या ही हिम लगाया हुआ है, वो पब्लिकली आके नहीं बोलेगा भाई मैं ही हिम हूँ. That culture doesn't exist. But US के अंदर ये culture exist करता है. But people now, thankfully I graduated before this went completely fucking crazy. But लोग क्लास में आके बोलते थे, hi, my name is Falana and my pronouns are he him. And it's like, okay, great. Look like a guy I was gonna, you know, मैं यही बोलने वाला था, हाँ भाई ही हिम इधर आजा. मैं ये थोड़ी बोलता कि कुछ और, you know. But it gets crazy. अब तो Microsoft ने एक हाल फिलहाल में एक पिच निकाली थी जिसके अंदर they had this guy and this girl and they were like, hi, my name is Ryan, my gender pronouns are he him, I'm a white male wearing a red shirt with. So वो अपने आप को ऐसे आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे थे. And then फिर लड़की ने भी कर आइडेंटिफाई. And then they're like, by the way, before we start this program, we just want to say the platform, the place where our headquarters is built was actually the original place of the Native American tribes known as 1, 2, 3, 18 native या 9 native tribes का नाम बताया, उनको श्रद्धांजलि सी वो करी कि हमसे गलती हो गई, हमने आपकी जगह पे बनाया है, हम आपको सम्मान देते हैं, हम आपको इस. तो ये सब चुदियाब चलता है 15 मिनट तक. फिर प्रोग्राम शुरू होता है, सत्य नडेला आता है, बोलता है हाँ जी हम माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वाले हमने ये करा वो करा है. क्या चल रहा है,
क्या है ये
भाई? यू ही है. यूट्यूब पे ना होगा, यूट्यूब पे अभी पढ़े लिखे आए ना ज़्यादा ऐसे वाले.
क्यों गलत हो रहा भा?
हाँ अरे यार तूने वो थारा भाई जोगिंदर वाली वीडियो के अंदर why it's so funny because I know Amit, like you made Amit Bhadana the mentor or like मैंने थारा भाई जोगिंदर को स्टार बना दिया. That's the vibe that I got. Very funny video.
वो पार्ट बहुत अच्छा था स्टार्टिंग वाला ना, when he वो उसको सिखा रहा है बस तू करते जा क्यों करना, like that karate kid वाला फील वो बहुत अच्छा था. Great observations in that. And obviously you've listened to the famous Thara Bhai Joginder diss track Bawandar. Very मतलब उस
मॉडर्न डे पिकासो है वो.
बट ठीक है, अच्छा मैंने पानी नहीं पिया.
हाँ, you were saying, sorry.
But like there's no point to fight with him as well. अब तो मतलब एक मतलब होता है ना कि सेंसिबल फाइट हो, like एमीवे वर्सेस रफ्तार. मतलब भाई अगर like you have a good warrior in front of you ना, अगर मतलब जोगिंदर क्या होगा, you won't get a good reply anyways.
I think या तो तुम क्रिएटिवली डिस करो कि इंटरनेट पे कोई घर पे तो नहीं आता, you know, unless कि तुम किसी गलत बंदे से पंगे लेते हो. बट क्या फ़ायदा? लाइक मैंने तो राजा गुजर, ही इज़ ऑल्सो tier 3 पर्सनैलिटी, मिक्स गाड़ी में बैठ के वीडियो बनाते हैं, रिएक्शंस एंड स्टफ. बट ही हैड समथिंग फनी टू से अबाउट जोगिंदर. इज लाइक कि भाई अगर हम बोलते हैं अगर तेरा कोई मैटर है तो हम तेरे घर आ जाते हैं या तू हमारे घर आ जा. सो यू नो दैट इज़ द एंड ऑफ यूट्यूब बीफ्स, वेयर यू गो पर्सनल. तुम घर पे क्या बात है, क्या बोल रहा है, वो बोलता है तेरे को देख लूँगा. उसने किसी को देखा आज तक?
किसी को नहीं देखा.
भवंडर आया, कहाँ है भवंडर? है ना, सुनामी यूएसए में आ रही, यहाँ कुछ नहीं हो रहा. So for all reasons and purposes, there is it's just like कि मैं सिर्फ सबको उल्टा बोलूँगा, but I'm not gonna do anything with it. Like
The value of your word goes down basically.
और
When you say I'll kill you and you don't kill.
हाँ, really like मैं ऐसा करूँगा and then you're still not, मतलब आपको 307 नहीं लगी आप पे, like what the fuck, why are you not in jail? But it's like your entire उसने, how did he start? I'm confused क्योंकि I did not have the luxury of following his content journey. I sort of discovered him in the middle.
Basically he got fame by helping poor people. और क्या बोलूँ भाई? Like he capitalized social service.
Huh. Bunch of Varun Pruthis. But Varun Pruthi was super nice when he was first starting out. Actor Varun Pruthi. Sorry.
That's where everything changes, you know, because the money is now taken back from the pocket. Uncle, short अच्छा नहीं है, एक बार मार लेते हैं.
Yeah. So Sonu Sood is just following in his footsteps, but doing something grand. You know, Sonu Sood has like a whole book that he came out with. Sonu Sood तो ऐसी कोई किताब है जहाँ पे उसकी अच्छाइयाँ लिखी हुई हैं.
That's how you make money, basically.
Yeah. But like Sonu Sood, you were a villain once. Now you're out here like helping the poor. Like, what is your job, sir? I help the poor.
And I make money out of it.
So I help the poor by making them laugh.
Okay.
And forget their poverty. Watch me. My name is Funny YouTuber.
So you make them happy for a day, so that they don't work more and earn more and live a happy life.
Yeah. वो lottery ticket है.
Yes.
The dangers of, so there was this study that came out, like you would expect if you were really poor, you would buy less lottery tickets because you have less money to spend, right? Instead, तुम सोचोगे कि middle class लोग या मतलब elite लोग ज़्यादा lottery ticket because it's the other way around. Homeless लोग, and I saw this firsthand, would go to stores and buy stacks of lottery tickets because they cannot believe वो जो पूरा idea है कि मैं incrementally धीरे धीरे भाई आज मैंने अपनी रेडी साफ कर ली है, जो भी कुछ है, मेरी जो ये कार्ट थी जिसके अंदर मैं सामान रखता हूँ, आज मैं नहा लिया, I'm about to get a job, मैंने घर ले लिया. It's like no, बुरा and then lottery. Like you basically start hoping that some random event,
Hera Fairy model,
is gonna save your life. So this whole model of like गरीबों को 50 रुपए दे देना, 1000 रुपए देने is a lot like that.
That's what it is.
हाँ, like it's the quote, teach the man teach a man how to fish. No, like don't give a man a fish, teach a man how to fish, and he will feed himself for a lifetime. Yeah, but like I think we all like social service कि भाई गरीबों की help कर रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छे हैं, whatever. That's the reason why all those NGOs that popped up around 2012 became so famous on Facebook क्योंकि 1 like equal to 1 share for 1 support for this dying
your
child.
1 like equals 1 rupee that we give.
And ITC वाले झूठ. I mean, maybe they do it, but like
my whole life was a lie. I bought classmate copies just so that I could support those 2 children, which were
4 children.
4 children.
Yeah, this is the lie they don't talk about. I may be wrong. Please don't sue me, but मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि first it was like 1 notebook for 1 child. Over the years, जैसे मैं 10वीं 11वीं में,
and I bought fucking 2 notebooks, even though I needed 1.
Then eventually क्या हुआ, 4, when I read for every 4 classmate notebooks you buy, we contribute ₹1. मतलब यार एक नोटबुक 60 रुपए की आती है, ठीक है, 240 रुपए में से ₹1 दे रहे हो. झूठ की भी मतलब सीमा होती है भाई. हम तुम्हारे पीछे वाले फैक्ट्स पढ़ते हैं, हमें लगता है कि हमारी इंसाइक्लोपीडिया क्लासमेट की नोटबुक क्या हमें बना देगी. तो झूठ और फरेब का धंधा चल रहा है इस दुनिया के अंदर. और भाई गरीब आदमी पिस रहा है, और भाई गौरव आर्य लेकिन उनको हंसाने की कोशिश कर रहा है.
बट गौरव आर्य भी उनसे पैसा खींच रहा है.
हाँ, गौरव आर्य भी खींच रहा है, खींचना भी चाहिए. देखो मतलब मैं तो ये बोलता हूँ कि क्रिएटर आदमी को भी पैसा कमाने की बहुत ज़रूरत है. सिर्फ वैलिडेशन और आर्टिस्टिक इंटेग्रिटी पे पेट किसी का नहीं पाला जाता.
डेफिनेटली,
है ना. और इसी वजह से आदमी कंटेंट भी बनाता, क्योंकि अगर सिर्फ आर्टिस्ट ही होता तो सीपी में बैठ के पेंटिंग्स बनाना इज अ ग्रेट प्रोफेशन, बट इट डजंट पे.
बट आई वांट टू सी यार कैसा लगता है उसमें भी, जस्ट फ्लोइंग इनटू आर्ट, नॉट केयरिंग अबाउट मनी. नहीं,
आई फील लाइक एनीवन हु इज एट 100K फील्स लाइक अ बुद्धा कि सब कुछ त्याग दूं मैं और दुनिया की जो सच्चाइयाँ हैं ना उनको मैं गहरे उससे देखूं. ये तो होता है लाइक देयर इज होल डिबेट अबाउट कंटेंट एंड आर्ट, नो, कि भाई आपका कंटेंट है, आपका आर्ट है, एंड लाइक ऑल दोस थिंग्स अबाउट कि एम आई बीइंग अ प्योरिस्ट, मैं प्योरली वही कर रहा हूँ जो मुझे करना है, वर्सेस लाइक दैट होल थिंग. बट आई थिंक यू कैन अराइव एट दैट प्लेस once slowly once, and I think that's good because you value it. Then you value your ability to create something purely for the sake of creation. How you first started. मतलब it's a whole cycle, right? तुम पहले घर पे बैठ के you're doing something. There is no real public output. Maybe you talk to friends. Like I remember writing for 10 years without telling anyone. कि मतलब मैं ऐसे लिखता हूँ, नोटबुक में लिख रहा हूँ, poems लिख रहा हूँ, बहुत बढ़िया है, किसी को दिखा दी, चलो प्रशंसा मिल गई. But like it was a reward in itself. Eventually, like you get into public, you're like, I can showcase this talent, I can, make something, I can offer a service, whatever. And then eventually it comes back to, भाई मेरी आज भी जो, मैं जिस तरह से अपने तख्त पे जो sketching करता हूँ ना, उसमें मज़ा आ जाता है. And this guy could be like a Picasso. But it takes time.
You get a lot of motivation as well from the audience itself, to keep going.
Right.
And I think that's when you can grow. Like I was really suffering with this idea of, spirituality and all.
Yeah.
College के time पे.
That भगवान है.
But when I observed myself and read a lot of Jordan Peterson. I think I got to understand कि अभी तो let's focus on this ना. Let's try to solve these problems first hand.
Individual अपनी responsibility ले पहले.
Responsibility ले लो भावा.
Clean your room. He's great. Jordan Peterson, great professor, even better content creator. Because he knows how to ritualize his teachings. Give people a ritual so that something as simple as cleaning your room is associated with Jordan Peterson and growth. Super clever.
Like it's such a simple thing. Clean your room. Like my dad said it so many times. But I understand it when Jordan Peterson explains it with a lot of, human psychology.
वो कहता है ना, the room is an extension of your mind. So if your room is dirty, it means like your mind is cluttered. So तभी तो ये होता है, ये कौन सी मैरी कॉन्डो वगैरह जिन्होंने किताब निकाली थी, the magic of tidying up your life, follows the same principle. It's just that Jordan Peterson actively addressed young men and he had no shame in that. तुम जनता, लोग बोलते हैं जनता को एड्रेस कर रहा हूँ. No, he specifically said, जैसे पुनीत सुपर सर बोलते हैं ना 18 से 24 साल के, तो he went like 16 to 24, 30, ये तुम लोग हो. That has some value. When you set a range and you say कि especially if you're a young person, a young man in your 20s, this is what is important for you. When you're addressed that specifically, you listen. क्योंकि ऐसी चीज़ें, भाई जल्दी उठो, रूम साफ कर लो, ये बड़ी पैट सी एडवाइस है जो हर किसी को दी जाती है. इसका कोई सर पैर नहीं, कौन लेके आया.
But he really explains the why really well, right. I think. That's the best part. If you like, even when I gift that book, I just give that 12 Rules of Life.
Not the other one, not the sequel.
I haven't read it yet.
Yes, if you've क्योंकि 12 Rules के बाद
I read the summary, I guess.
But he came out with so many videos, so many podcasts that the next book is basically a summation of that.
So basically what happens that whenever someone reads that book, he's like कि 12 rules, they read the index and they're like समझ आ गया. But समझ नहीं आया bro. When you read it अंदर ना, you just मतलब क्या बोलते हैं उसको, you internalize it. I think most of what we do is just habit. So you have to be habitual with handling money. So that when a crisis comes and you have to take a quick decision, you're 100% sure कि what you're doing is right.
Right.
Habits are just so fucking important. I got to understand when I shifted from that business space to YouTube, and now the money decisions that I take right now, they're so much easier. I don't have to think twice कि ये decision लूँ या नहीं लूँ, ये sponsorship is in or out.
Yeah.
I'm very fucking sure about it. So habits, like forming good habits.
Yeah.
About money.
I think it's important. I think it's also important, and this is a missed skill, is to handle cash. मुझे लगता है ये खत्म हो रही है because of Paytm and UPI. That has its merits, but there is this tactile feeling in cash, and if you make money and you're like, chalo, I'm going to transact this, go to the bank. I've done this, and see what, for example, you made any 5 figures through a YouTube video, example later, or anything else, right? You go to the bank, you transact all of that, ठीक है?
You have it in your hand.
And you feel like ये cash है, and then you learn how to count it, because that's also important. क्योंकि हर जगह हिंदुस्तान के अंदर अब तो हर जगह like it's all Paytm, net banking and all. A lot of this country still operates on cash, and the ability to count cash fast and do mental math and mental accounting, that is very important. जो मुझे लगता है कि people have a hard time because what they do is they usually check their accounts, their finances once a month, कि वो सारी transactions देखते हैं, statement निकालते हैं, pros, cons, balance, जो भी. People have elaborate systems, people have simple systems. But I think I'm kind of sad कि यार cash खत्म हो जाएगा ना तो वो scene चला जाएगा because cash also makes you vulnerable if you're sitting on cash. Also reminds you of what can happen. जो कि seeing numbers on a screen कि इतना पैसा मेरे पास है, I don't know, just doesn't do for me. But that's just me. What specifically in finance? Because you mentioned this a bunch. कि ऐसा क्या है? What do you do in finances that makes it easy for you to like say no? Yes,
Majorly, you know, that delayed gratification वाली चीज.
So you've not made money for a while, so now you know कि कहाँ पैसा आना है, like that.
हाँ. Like even now I can make videos which will work really well. But I'm not doing that. I'm putting more time to learning. Right? I'm putting time into other projects.
Like what?
I just shot a web series.
Oh, nice.
October, November, yeah.
This is you and your friends.
Yeah. Basically, we headed it and then we hired a lot of people. So,
okay.
Basically, burning a lot of money. So, the thing is ki it's not comedy, first of all. So, that will not be recommended to me for sure. Ki if you're a comedy creator. So,
is it a drama? What
yes,
is
a
it?
drama. So, going off what I'm good at, you know, being able to take that risk.
Fun, challenging.
Fun, challenging. Plus, you know that, okay, maybe 10 years down the line, that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah.
So, I should try to get into it, na? So, these kind of decisions are really simple now. Otherwise, मेरी हमेशा फटी रहती कि अच्छा अब ये कर देता हूँ, अब ये कर देता हूँ, अब ये कर देता हूँ, अरे इसकी वीडियो इनने बना दी, अच्छा ये कंट्रोवर्सी हो गई, इस पे बना दो, इस पे बना. तो you know, when you are not, I would say, एकदम sane ना, तुम react करते हो, which is just not the way. You should act.
I agree. Too many bad decisions have been taken in that moment. And especially, I think, if you're like, in general, तुम किसी भी feed पे हो, and you are in the power that the creator has, where you have the mental resource, the people to make a video. If you're caught in an emotion, certain things don't age well. And then you're like, अरे बहन मैंने क्या कर दिया ये? But it's really rare. Like, I used to have a great meditation practice, but then as things got more intense, वो miss हो गई. So now I just break it off really hard during long walks and gyms. But कल मैंने right before a podcast, I just meditated 15 minutes. After maybe 3 weeks of not doing it. Instant relief. The conversation after that was gold. Otherwise, you can often see with the reactivity, तुम्हें लग रहा है कि anything that comes at you is just like, how do I explain this? It's like you're not centered in yourself. तुम्हारे अंदर, you don't have enough of you. It's all out. It's all extrapolated. That's a challenge. And it's very weird. You know, John Peterson's take on meditation is very interesting. He does not. He's like, I sit on the edge of my bed and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? हर चीज़ ही मतलब तड़पना, sin, repentance is his Christian worldview.
Over analytic.
हाँ, मतलब he was on Wim Hof's podcast. Rather, Wim Hof was on his podcast. और उसने उसे वो कराई. Have you done Wim Hof breathing?
No. What is it?
Oh, जैसे कपालभाति करते हैं ना.
ठीक है. कपालभाति I've done.
Kapalbhati you've done. But like the catch is Kapalbhati is like like that. Nothing really happens.
No. I'll tell you what happens. Okay, go ahead.
हाँ, but catch है उसके अंदर. It isn't ended very well. You can do it better. 30 बार तुम you take short powerful breaths. On the 31st breath, you take a long breath in. You exhale completely. And उसके बाद you hold. So what happens is your skin starts tingling. Your head starts to go numb. You enter fight or flight mode. क्योंकि तुम्हारी सारी breath निकल गई है. Your body is in a state of like a good stress, you know. एक physiological stress होता है ना, एक होता है mental stress. अच्छा. And in that state, you're supposed to learn to be calm. जब physiologically your body is like firing off all alarms की, you know, जैसे खाना नहीं खा रखा होता तो anxiety होती है उससे पहले, and then immediately you eat, you feel a sense of relief, right? So you learn to stay calm in like the state where you're supposed to fight or flight. It's very effective.
Achha, so you have been in fight and flight so many times that it's normal to you basically.
Yeah, it makes fight and flight. और वो ज़रूरी है ना, because
you are gonna face a lot of fight and flight.
Yeah.
And if you're not calm, you'll take the wrong decisions.
Yeah, you'll take the wrong decisions. You'll not be centered. You will be prone to moods. You will be anxious. So it's really making discomfort your friend. And then it's immediately followed by a cold shower. and then the cold shower, you repeat this. And eventually what happens is you become comfortable with breathing deep breaths in the cold shower as well. Usually कभी ठंडा पानी चलाते हैं, सांस अटक जाती है आदमी की, है ना? तभी दिखाते थे जैसे वो आइस बकेट चैलेंज होता था ALS वाला, is like what happens when so all of that is, and it's great for immunity. I was very surprised I got Omicron क्योंकि मुझे तो लगता था कि यार it's foolproof, but I've been less sick than anyone else in my life because of doing cold showers daily and Wim Hof breathing every now and then. तो ये scene है. But what was the benefit of Kapalbhati?
Yeah, Kapalbhati, if you do it for like 50-60 times, for me, my breath just stops for a minute or two.
अच्छा.
And then I'm in this trance state. It's really cool.
मतलब बट लोग 50-60 बार नहीं करते. यूजली कोई योगा ट्यूटोरियल चल रहा होता है 10-15 बार ऐसे मतलब करके छोड़ देते हैं. 50
like Kapalbhati and the Om chanting.
Om chanting.
They have the same effects for me. It's really fun.
Om chanting is मतलब मैं ना I'm always thinking what kinds of different meditations alter states inside me. हर इसका अलग है. जैसे Wim Hof breathing is that. Regular आंखें बंद करके just बैठना is just like clearing your mind, becoming more centered. Om kind of makes me feel more at rest in a weird way, and like also invigorated, thoda sa optimistic. It's hard. Everyone has different things, right? Also clears up the throat because it's not really used to vibrating so much with the sound like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I really want to try Vipassana for sure.
Oh, bro, you'll love it. You'll hate it first, but then you'll I did it in 2019. My roommate was a ladies chiller जिसने एक potty का लोथड़ा फेंक दिया था bathroom में. You know, like it didn't flush. So we had 15 minutes before silence officially started. I'm like, I'm going to use this time and tell him, भाई ये मत करना. You अगले 10 दिन are going to be hell for me if you don't flush. So eventually he flushed. But the hard thing in Vipassana is you're with your head for 10 days. So
Nothing else.
And it does drive you insane. Any creative person makes characters. I had characters for everyone. This guy looks like a Deshpande. Makes no sense. उसके चेहरे पे कहीं नहीं लिखा. But like मेरा मन ये Deshpande type का बंदा है.
You're doing that because you're bored out of death or like what?
Bored out of death.
Okay, basically. ठीक है.
And bro, like, okay, हम क्या करते हैं? There are constant patterns in our head. है ना? ये इसलिए हुआ क्योंकि मैं ऐसा हूँ, ये ऐसा है, ये फलाना ढिमकाना. It's hard to really see and acknowledge things for as they are all the time. It's so suffocating, which is why we take thinking shortcuts, right? Gaurav YouTuber, मुझे और नहीं जानना. एग्जाम्पल दे रहा हूँ तेरे को. हम पॉडकास्ट कर रहे हैं, पर उसके बाद भी if I have to like say गौरव कौन है? गौरव YouTuber है, right? I don't have the time, the mental bandwidth to regard you as Gaurav as a person, Gaurav as a this, as a son, whatever, with all multiple facets of personality. Especially if you're like someone on the outside of my social network peripheries, because I have no time. Everyone does that, right? So now in Vipassana, you're bored. What do? So then you create these characters. Like I created this character. ये पक्का कोई researcher type. ये अपनी बीवी को daily मारता होगा. Oh my God, बताओ ये आदमी extra खाना ले रहा है क्या? साला झूठा है ये. जो यहाँ पे भी आया कि साला ढोर. And like you're like जब ये अगले दिन जब ये फटेगा ना, विपासना खत्म होगा ना, मैं इनसे जाके confirm करूँ मेरा thesis कितना correct था. I was surprisingly right in a lot of things, but horribly wrong in some. This Deshpande guy who I thought looked like an arts professor, उसका हनी का व्यापार था, वो MBA कर रखा था उसने, just like off in some things. But that's then you तुम इतने अंदर चले जाती हो, तुम तो अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स को इतना ज़्यादा मतलब the worst, you play out worst case scenarios, best case scenarios, and you're meditating like 12 hours a day, you get tired. The mind stops, चुप हो जाता है, परेशान करना बंद कर देता है. The best thing is you become, जो reactivity की बात है ना, I was a super reactive person before Vipassana. I had severe anger issues. I was unpredictable, emotionally unstable. It really helped me raise my basic baseline. एक होती है ना baseline of happiness की, चलो when you regress back to your bad habits, you know कि वो कहाँ तक जा सकती हैं. You don't go any further down. You know like किसी आदमी को अगर आदत है कि वो पूरे दिन बैठ के पोर्नोग्राफी देखता है, ठीक है, तो लाइक वो उससे नीचे नहीं जाएगा, उसकी बेसलाइन सेट है बुराई की भी. तो बाय डिफॉल्ट तुम्हारी बेसलाइन ऑफ हैप्पीनेस और लाइक योर वर्स्ट पॉसिबल बिहेवियर्स है वो उठ जाता है विपासना के बाद, बिकॉज यू हैड एन इमर्सिव मेडिटेटिव एक्सपीरियंस. सो यू नो कि क्या पॉसिबल है. तो तुम जिंदगी भर भी उसे प्रैक्टिस ना करो ना, वो रह जाता है मन में. एंड दैट्स अ गुड थिंग टू गो बैक टू अगेन एंड अगेन एंड अगेन. So Calm, Headspace, great apps, but like it's like scratching the surface. you want to dive in. और अभी तो सही टाइम है जाने का Vipassana. Because India में they're all opening up again. Dhamma.org है.
Should go.
Yeah, but I will say, full disclaimer, my heater is acting like a bitch today.
Yeah.
बहुत ठंडे आज, मतलब I can feel it, and I'm if you are feeling the cold as well, I apologize. I didn't expect कि इतनी ठंड हो जाएगी आज. But I'm literally shaking with cold, and I
Why? Vipassana did not help?
नहीं यार, which is the other thing that people do after Vipassana. जैसे आप हल्का सा भी गुस्सा, अरे तेरी Vipassana आ गई, तो Vipassana करके आया था ना, and they will poke you in like a Vipassana, practice Vipassana. But नहीं, it's just super cold. I'll probably fix something with the heater. Anyway, bro, it's been fun having you on Dostcast. It's been a great time. I didn't expect to dive into so many rabbit holes with you. And where can people find you apart from YouTube?
On my Instagram.
Gaurav Arya TV.
Gaurav Arya TV.
Yeah. What TV?
So that you get something else to search, The Gaurav Arya डालोगे तो वो आ जाएगा ना, Major Gaurav Arya. That was the problem. So I was like,
so you really Gaurav Arya TV इसलिए था because you found that Gaurav Arya, Major Gaurav Arya is responsible for shaping the trajectory of your career. That's weird. All right, so people can follow you there, and of course, await your web series. When does it come out?
Probably in March. Still editing.
अच्छा, it's going to come out on a OTT platform or YouTube?
No, YouTube.
तेरे चैनल पे? क्या बात है? Following the footsteps of Harsh Beniwal and Amit Bhadana.
Not at all. See, that's where you go wrong,
Correct me.
See, I don't.
A lot of YouTubers do web series though. That's what I'm saying.
But they're just repeating what they're doing in a way. They're not experimenting.
आप थोड़े different हो.
हाँ, indie है. Mainstream. जब एक दिन आएगा हम mainstream हो जाएंगे.
Did Simon Says react to you?
No, he did not.
Yeah.
I think बड़ा YouTuber बन गया है.
Oh my God! अब तो बड़ा आदमी बन गया. हमसे क्यों बात कर रहा है? सही है. He's I like the Sigma Grindset video you did. I think Sigma Grindset अभी भी YouTube India में underused है. Should be used to death. It's a great template. Cool, bro. Fun having you on here. And we'll see you all whenever this next podcast comes out. Bye bye.